Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 77 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name's Dave McRae. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Toronto, Canada. It's 7:06 p.m. Eastern. Yes, it's 7:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, July the 6th, 2020. Tonight we're watching Jaws. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! I love this music, man.
Classic like porno, 80s.
It's funny, people always... It's funny people say that. It's funny people say that it reminds me of porn music, because for me, it makes me think of like a montage you would see in like a Stranger Things or 80s show where it's like, come on, we gotta do it, we gotta build something here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like if the guy and the girl are like, having this like romance build and they do a montage of them, like, yeah, totally, I could hear that melody.
Totally 80s.
In the 80s for sure.
It's all about the bromance that's happening here. Yeah. It's all about the bromance. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The bromance that's happening here. Hey, 77, our 77th episode. It was the 4th of July weekend this past weekend. Happy belated 4th of July to you, Tony, and to all.
Happy Canada Day, belated. That was a few days before us.
That's right, July the 1st. Thank you very much, and to everybody in the chat room, of course. And the 4th of July would not be complete without watching one of the greatest motion pictures ever created. The movie that began the summer blockbuster, the movie that made Steven Spielberg a household name, the movie that was riddled with production issues and over budget, but I mean, it came out phenomenal. The classic Jaws.
And has given us great one-liners such as, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yes! I love that shirt. I love that shirt. You're going to need a bigger boat.
There's so many lines that people quote from this movie. Isn't that Quint?
Oh, yeah.
Farewell and adieu to you fair
the one that
Spanish
always
ladies.
Stuck with me as a kid. I used to sing as a kid was, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago and it got right to my head. Wherever I may roam, land or sea or home, you can always hear me sing. And then they get interrupted right there.
Moment. Yeah, that was a really good moment.
You can always hear me singing this. And then it's like, what the hell's going on? It's great stuff. Yeah, I agree. Phenomenal movie and
great soundtrack. I mean, one of the best. Someone asked me, what is better, Halloween or Jaws? And it's you can't really measure the two, because the way I look at it is this, in the horror community, if you ask that question, everyone's probably going to say Halloween, because that's the soundtrack that I listen to on the regular more so than I do Jaws. But I think if you were to ask it mainstream, Jaws would probably bury it. Everyone knows the Jaws theme. Not everybody knows the Halloween theme.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Blood Red Skies.
Both great soundtracks.
Oh, for sure. Blood Red Sky sends a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, hilarious. Jaws covers say PG. It's graphic. Well, in 1975, there was no such thing as PG-13. PG, right. It was either PG or R, I believe. And at least here in
first movie that
North America.
That made because of PG-13. There was a movie. It was like in the 80s or 90s.
It was Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, okay.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was the first movie that not the first PG-13 movie, but the movie that caused the MPAA to go, okay, you know what? We need to introduce something that is between PG and R. There has to be something else. And that was because of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I forget what the first official PG-13 movie was, though. It might have been, anyways, the chat room might, the chat room probably knows, and they will let us know that.
Did you ever read the book?
No, but Peter Benchley did not. Peter Benchley has a cameo in this movie.
I've read it, man. I can't spoil it for you, because let me tell you, things happen in the book that do not happen in the movie.
I know about like the affair and everything and all that stuff that goes on.
And there's certain deaths that don't happen in the movie that I think a lot of people and stuff. That the one gripe, like my dad saw this in theater, my uncles and whatnot, but they all read the book beforehand, and when certain things didn't happen, there were a lot of people who left the theater pissed off that night because they were expecting certain deaths to happen.
Interesting.
But it didn't happen that way. And I don't want to spoil it for you because there's a key character and a key death that happens in the book, but does not happen in the movie.
Yes, I think I know what that is. I won't say it, but I do think I know what that is.
And a lot of people were like, initially,
yes.
a lot of people were really upset because my dad was telling me stories about that they were very disappointed initially because of that. But of course, it's, grown to become one of the greatest movies of all time.
100%. Well, it is. And there's a variety of reasons for that, which we'll be talking about through the movie tonight.
This is filmmaking. If you need a blueprint on how to be a filmmaker, watch this.
There we go. Robert Andrew Paul sends a super chat. Thank you, Robert. Says, hey, Dave and Tony. Dave, you have said you have not seen Terrifier yet. I haven't. Would you consider watching it here? I know Tony has said he enjoys the film. Maybe we might do that. If I don't see Terrifier before Halloween time, like September, October, maybe that'll be one we'll pop in around that time or something. Maybe I'll watch it for the first time here. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. It's an idea. Tony and I always have actually, Tony's amazing at picking the movies we watch. I have ideas and Tony comes along and goes hard into the paint and I'm like, that's fucking amazing. We got to do that. So you can thank Tony for a lot of the films that we're doing.
I try to dig deep into the horror catalog of films and shit for you guys. There's so many. Like I was just going through thinking about we still haven't even done Last House on the Left. I just watched The Hills Have Eyes, the original one the other day. Like that's one we can do on here. There's so many. It's like ridiculous.
I know. It's crazy. Crazy stuff indeed.
And this one too. It's not horror, but I'm watching it on VHS after the stream tonight. Little Ferris Bueller.
Oh, Ferris Bueller.
We can do Ferris Bueller one night on here. I know it's not horror, guys, but it's fucking Bueller.
Bueller. What's his face again? What's that guy's name again?
Oh, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, no. The guy that goes Bueller.
Oh,
Bueller.
Ben
Stein?
Teacher. Ben Stein.
Ben Stein. I think Ben Stein and I briefly had the same manager for a brief time.
Okay.
A brief time. I think it was him. I'd have to go back and check though. It might not. But I think it was him. This is when I had a manager in the States. It didn't work out, so yeah. It just didn't work out. Anyway, Super Chat's coming in. Hey, let's get this started. Okay?
All right.
Let's do this.
We're just at the 3-second mark, right before the Universal or thing starts coming in.
Yep, bang on. That's where we are watching Jaws tonight. Hopefully you're going to watch with us. Oops, I close that window there. Let me bring you guys back up. There you are. And then put this up. Okay, yes, I am watching it off of YouTube. That's where I'm watching it. I am paused 3 seconds in, as Tony said, just as you're about to see the Universal Studios logo pop up. So here we go. And I see your Super Chats there. I will get to them. But let's get this thing started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom. Yes, indeed. Oh, Jaws, here we go. One of the greatest themes in the history of motion picture. And it's so simple. It's so simple.
Oh, yeah. Really.
People were literally afraid to go in the water after this movie. Like how people were afraid to have showers after Psycho. People weren't necessarily afraid to go trick-or-treating because of Michael Myers. I'm not diminishing the impact of Halloween, but this was like a cultural phenomenon is what this was. This was just incredible.
Our parents were lucky to get to experience this.
Oh, God. I still haven't. I'd love to see this in the theater. I'm telling you.
You haven't seen it? I've seen it at the drive-in. I haven't seen it at the theater. I've seen it at the drive-in.
I am going to see, because I know they're bringing a lot of old movies back to get people to go back to the theaters. I'm going to see if Jaws... Wait. There it is. Oh, man.
I'm already... He's swimming through the water, going through the credits. You're not quite there yet?
No, yeah. I'm Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, let me know when you get to John Williams' music and it fades out. You have to say when it fades out because mine just faded out. I paused it.
Where it says John...
Music by Williams? John Williams.
Okay, it says Jaws right now, co-starring Lorraine Gary. Mm-hmm. Man, Murray Hamilton. Love Murray Hamilton. He passed away in the mid-'80s, actually. Bum, bum, bum. Music by John Williams, and it has faded out.
All right, cool. Film editor Verna Fields.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right, cool.
Man, amazing.
And now we're coming up to arguably... one of the greatest kills in cinema history. Now,
dude,
I'm not talking horror. I'm saying cinema history.
Watching this again, as I often say to my viewers, I say, one of the best ways, especially if you're younger, one of the best ways to appreciate older films is to always keep in the back of your mind the context for when they came out. This was terrifying in 1975. 1975, folks. Terrifying. It still holds up today. It's beautiful in HD. And and the cinematography, seeing the girl swimming with the moonlight shining in.
Man, which, I mean, they shot that during the day and they just slapped the filter on that.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, that's all they did. They just slapped the filter on it to create the effect that it's the moonlight, right. But it's actually they filmed that during the day.
Yeah, it's so wild. It's such a great, it's such a great opening. There's just no doubt about it. Yeah, what's your name again, Chrissy? Where we go? Hold up. I'm telling you, if this comes back to the theater, I got to check. I'm going to ask my girlfriend if she wants to go and watch Jaws.
Yeah, the drive-in one was down on the shore in Connecticut, near New London. This is years ago before this was between 2005 and 2008 when I was back there for a few years. And we went down there and they had at the drive-in, they had a Jaws night. So you're at the drive-in and right next to you is the fucking ocean watching Jaws.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And of course, it's Connecticut. So you're literally, I'm a stone's throw away from where they filmed this movie, which is up in Martha's Vineyard.
That's right.
Literally. That's right. Yep. Connecticut to Martha's Vineyard is only about a 90-minute drive.
Yep, that's where they shot it.
Well, drive and then the ferry to the island.
Right. This is so beautiful. And when she pops up there and you can see the sunset.
That's the sun behind her. I know I know the moon effect that they were going for, but that's why I'm saying it's a filter that they put on there to create that effect. And of course, they obviously stopped down their f-stop to really help that out.
This looks it's such a great
beautiful
shot.
Cinematography.
It's beautiful.
Perfectly silhouetted.
And eerie.
Even the objects, like you see the buoy, right? Is that what they call it? The buoy? Out there behind her. And then this.
Yeah.
I always love the subtlety of the theme. Well, and the subtlety of the theme is beautiful.
Yes, and it's just dun, 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 dun.
And of course, we all know it's Spielberg.
Oh, I mean, just as it's slowly
I'm sorry, it's
approaching.
Spielberg on the first tug. I'm sorry,
That's
he got the first tug, right?
Right. Man. And of course, there are divers pulling her in different directions.
What's her name, the actress? I can't remember
her name. I forget her real name, but man, does she sell it. She
sells the shit out of this.
Oh, incredible.
If you don't have that performance, it's not believable.
No, it's not. And it would be terrifying watching this in the theater. Jesus.
Is Donita?
Nobody's seen anything like this.
I'm sorry, because some people kept saying Donita. Susan Bacalini? That's
Susan Bacalini? That's probably it.
I don't think I said that right, but okay, that's she's great.
Great. But you're right, Tony. When she's treading water and the camera's slowly moving towards her.
And the subtlety of the slowness of the theme.
Yes. And the theme almost matches her arms as she's going back and forth like this. Boom, boom, boom.
It was just the brilliancy of John Williams, and keeping that tempo to her beat, to her swimming.
That's right. Oh my God. It's those subtle nuances that you don't necessarily pick up on consciously, but when you, but it affects you on a level that you can't explain. It's just a feeling.
Yep.
So great. So great. Some super chats came in here. Big G sends a super chat. Thanks very much. D&T, do you like Jaws 4? Hate it. I saw it in the drive-in. I saw the Jaws 4 in the drive-in in 87. Didn't like it.
I'm not. I only own the first two. That's it.
CM sends a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, for your next Two Dudes and Some Bullshit episode, the shit show that is Jaws the Revenge. I don't know if we'll ever do that one.
I think Jaws 2 will probably come before Jaws the Revenge.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Agent Priest says, hey, Dave, hope you had a good 4th, bro. And Tony, well, I'm not American, I'm Canadian, but I had a good weekend. I hope you had a good 4th. We had Canada Day on the 1st of July. So kind of, we're all sort of celebrating our countries
violent down
together.
Here in Atlanta over the weekend. It wasn't that good.
That's
pretty bad. It was scary.
And Blood Red Sky says, getting attacked by a shark at night in the middle of the ocean is my worst nightmare. Good thing I never did it. Yeah, it's... Wouldn't like it, that's for sure. I could not agree more.
And again, you cannot undermine enough the brilliancy of their casting in this, from Schneider, as the chief, to what's her name that plays Brody's wife,
Lorraine
Gary. Yeah, thank you. All the kids are even just everybody was right for the right part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the little key characters, like some of the Islander people, perfect.
Oh yeah, and I've often said this, and I believe it. One of the reasons
Schneider, thank you. I said Schneider. I think whatever.
Schneider, yeah. The end, yeah. There's no end.
I added an N.
Yeah, that's common.
He passed away though, right? Not like years ago, right?
A few years back now. Yeah.
Okay.
But one of the things that that is a strength to Jaws, and part of the reason why they had to do this obviously was because they were having so many mechanical problems with the shark. And I've talked about this before, and it's one of the reasons why I don't believe, look, is Hollywood capable of doing this? Sure. But I believe that they would miss this incredible importance that makes this movie so amazing, is that if you're going
the cinematography too, on top of
that, of course. But if you're going to do what is now known as the Jaws effect, right? You keep your antagonist, whatever that is, shark, monster, ghost, whatever it is, at bay. You better hope that your characters on screen are really rich, well-developed, interesting. The relationships, the dynamics, the subplot, the subtext that's going on all around them is really interesting and engaging and relatable, because we're going to be spending a lot of time with them.
Oh, we all know who this is.
Yep. If that's not strong, and we don't have the antagonists on screen, it's going to be a boring movie. I thought Godzilla, what Gareth Edwards tried to do with Godzilla was he tried to do what is now known as the Jaws effect, even though it was accidental on this movie because they couldn't use the shark because it wasn't working. But now it becomes sort of a creative technique. But Gareth Edwards had lackluster, boring characters, and he killed off arguably the most interesting one, which was Bryan Cranston. And you can't have a lackluster, run-of-the-mill, one-dimensional set of characters and do the Jaws effect. It's like I'm asleep here. I need something. And this movie, and listen, I mean, you got to give credit
even like
where
little things like that, like what Brody did there. He discovers Chrissy's body,
sure,
and just the subtlety of the turn of him looking out, like the foreshadowing of what's to come.
Of course,
no music's being played. It's just simple, easy storytelling, like the Jaws effect. You don't see it.
Right.
But it's interpreted that. Totally. Yeah.
But all the characters are just so, it's interesting to watch the development, the relationship between Brody and Hooper and Quint, and it's so strong. And I feel today that a remake of Jaws would be so focused on the shark and not enough on the relationships and that slow burn. But not just a slow burn, like really focusing on the relationships between everybody, because we're spending a lot of time with them. So we really got to be, attracted to what's going on. And that is a huge strength of this movie. Strength of this movie.
I've always said Jeff, the guy who plays Brody's deputy, Jeff's story is this, folks. Jeff, unfortunately, had a bad experience as a deputy on an island and decided to move out to the Midwest in Illinois and open up his dental practice, where he ends up in the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois.
That's
he was
it.
Looking for the peaceful life. But the violence still found poor Jeff.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened.
I love, if you've ever get a chance to go to Martha's Vineyard, dude, this is Martha's Vineyard. And the aesthetic look of Martha's Vineyard, like this, what you're seeing in the film, is still very much like this today, minus the old school cars. It's just modern cars. But the aesthetic look of Martha's Vineyard is
right.
I'm glad it's still like this, that there's still a piece of this type of Americana left. It hasn't been modernized.
And they weren't happy with the filming.
No.
They were not happy. The town was not. They were, at first, they were kind of like, oh, cool. Well, this is interesting and fun. But then it dragged on for so long. And there were so many problems. And they took much longer than they were going to, that they said they were going to be there, that it became a real nuisance. Like at first it was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But then eventually it was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you guys have been here way too long. And everything is, it was a big inconvenience. Timestamp here, we're at 11 minutes and 45 seconds into the movie.
I'm at 11:19, and Chief is getting into the car right now, and he's driving off.
Yep, same. Guess it's just a...
So we're at the same spot, but just different time.
Yeah.
This guy's great. He's the mayor, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a great, again, supporting actor, not a key, but he plays
fantastic.
He's sort of the antagonist of the film, a silent antagonist because he's not the shark. The shark's the antagonist, but the mayor is too because Brody's trying to shut the beaches down, but the mayor's like, no, we need this because he needs the money. So I like how they wrote that in to have a human antagonist for Brody to have along with the shark.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I forget the mayor's name too. It's like Pat something, right?
No, in real life?
Yeah.
Murray Hamilton.
Murray Hamilton, thank you.
Yeah. He died in the mid-'80s. I remember that he was on an episode of The Golden Girls.
Yes. I think, wasn't he in Superman Return? One of the Superman movies?
I don't know. He played Blanche's father, I think, on The Golden Girls, and he passed away a year or two after that episode, something like 85, 86, something like that. He's been dead a while.
I think most of the people in this film are dead. Sadly, except for Richard Dreyfuss, obviously.
Yeah.
Is Jeff
I
the
think
deputy?
I think he's still alive.
Is he still alive?
Still alive. Yeah, I think so. Super chat from Frank Riker. Thanks, buddy. Frank the Tank, my man, says Judith versus Chrissy. Who made a more impact on an opening death scene? Oh, I think in pop culture, I think you got to go with Chrissy. Yeah. I think so.
Horror fans, obviously, Judith is an iconic scene for horror fans, but no, I mean, you put Chrissy up there with, well, she's technically, what's her name? Janet Leigh's not an opening death to a movie. She's about 45 minutes into the movie.
Hang on a sec. I love this line here. I love this line. Is like, Martin, it's rather quite simple. It's all psychological. You yell barracuda, everyone says, huh? What? You yell shark. We got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. I love it.
Oh, Lorraine Gary's still alive. I thought I heard she died.
Love that line. You got a panic on our hands.
But that sets the tone right there for the mayor being the human antagonist that Brody has.
That gives, you're bang on, Tony. It gives you insight into what foreshadows a little bit his motivation. Right, because then you realize, I mean, he wants to make money. He doesn't give a fuck. He wants to make money until he's forced into a position where he has to. But that little thing that's like, Martin, it's all psychological. You yell barracuda, everyone says, huh? What?
Of course, you
yell shark. We got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
The Alex Kittner's death scene is so great. But not only great, it's such a great tribute to Hitchcock with the zoom in effect, where you have that vertigo. Is that the term?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. On Roy Scheider.
Yeah, where it's like zooms and it pulls back. I'm sorry, it zooms in, pulls back simultaneously.
That's right.
That's
a
Hitchcock thing. Spielberg did that as a tribute to Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Great. Like I'm saying, folks, if you want to be a filmmaker, just watch this film, and this is all you need to know how to make a good movie.
And what's so frightening about this as well, again, I mean, can you think about this? 1975, you're watching this movie, you're in the theater. The moment when Alex Kintner, right? I think that's his name, right? He's being attacked by the shark, and all you see for a moment is blood spurting up out of the water, and like a couple of fins roll over, and they look gigantic. I mean, oh my, huge. They're huge. They're amazing. Alex Kintner is fantastic. I love him. Bloody.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, but it looks unbelievable.
As well, too. Yes, they did.
That shot, dude. Sorry, that shot is so I'm just thinking, being in the theater in 1975, seeing that, I would be like, oh my God. I mean, and there's another image coming up soon that's wild to me.
You're creating this iconic death scene where you see the shark eat the kid. Simultaneously, you're creating an iconic cinematic moment of the pullback zoom shot onto Roy. You know what I mean? You don't get this in cinema, folks. This is not happening where you have two great moments happening simultaneously.
This is a great moment right here too, with Harry and his man boobs. I mean,
actor.
It's all about the man boobs. It's I'm telling you, you got the pullback, the vertigo, you got the man boobs. I mean, that's what it's all about. Those man boobs are stupendous, by the way. Inside joke for those of us, or for those of you that.
Still photograph of the kid just sitting on the platform with Bruce behind it, Bruce the shark.
Yes.
It's so cool. He's just like hanging out, like, yep, I'm hanging here.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Big ass shark behind me.
That's right.
I'm glad they didn't show.
And
and we as fans are alluded to Bruce eating.
Yes.
The dog. I never call the shark Jaws. I always call it Bruce because that's
Here it comes.
Again,
Here
another
comes.
great moment.
Here it comes. There it is, moving up on the boy. Now watch this. Watch this. Imagine you're in the theater, 1975. Even now, it's fucking terrifying. Look at this. Now wait for it. Look at this. Oh!
So that's happening, and now you get to zoom out.
And there it is. There it is. There's the, yeah. Oh! And look at the blood all around the kids, the football, like, moving. Oh! Dude, terrifying. The theaters would have been going ape shit. Ape shit. That's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying today to think. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Crazy. You didn't need to show it. You just needed to show a couple of fins rolling over and blood. It's like, that was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot of blood.
You know why? That was probably Lucas was on set that day. Need more blood, Steven.
Michael Bay. More blood.
No, it was Lucas at the time, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true.
That's why I always said the reason why they're shooting stars in this film in two scenes, it was the Lucas effect. Lucas was testing out shit at the time.
That's right.
He was like, Steven, you know what you need? You need 2 shooting stars at this moment.
Oh, that was amazing, though. Like, just so, I love that scene. And there's another shot coming up later when Mike is in the pond and the shark's on its side and he goes, oh my God.
Or how many times the shark jumping out of the water, becoming another iconic moment. One where Brody's right there, shoveling out the shit to him. But then another one when it jumps up towards Quint, when Quint's got the ropes in his hand.
It's unbelievable. But think about this. We're nearly 20 minutes into the movie and we haven't seen really anything apart from that. It's fucking amazing.
Yep.
And there's a subtle detail here that whenever it's actually not the shark in the water, Williams doesn't apply the music. Like that scene when it turns out to be the kids with the fin, they show underwater stuff, but you don't hear the music. And that's to, because it's not the shark.
The audience to know that it's not the shark.
Right. You may not think that the very first time you're watching it, but, you pick up on it again in the future. Let me just see.
I love this, how we get introduced to Quint. Robert Shaw.
Oh, nails in the chalkboard. Oh yeah.
Talk about it, folks. I mean, I can't recommend it enough. This movie, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, or whatever. I think that's what it's called. It's great. Another great movie. Robert Shaw, man. If you guys don't know, watch his shit. Dude is
The Sting. He was great in The Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was great.
Tremendous actor. Died like before you and I were born, I think.
Oh yeah, like 78 or something like that. Blood Red Skies sends a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says the mechanic shark in the Jaws films is like the Michael Myers mask in Halloween. Never really looked too good after the second movie. It's kind of a good point.
It's true.
Kind of a good point.
It's very, very true.
Yes, we are. Oh, fuck. What are you doing? Murray Hamilton. I love that line in Jaws too. Look, I'm telling you and I'm telling everybody at this table that that's a shark. And I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. And you better do something about this one because I don't intend to go through that hell again. I love it. I think that's how it is because I don't intend to go through that hell again. It's great. Oh yeah.
A lot of these people in this room are gone.
We're dead 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
My grandfather, my mother's father, at his age, looked like Robert Shaw.
My grandfather, too, personality. He had that personality like Quint's character.
My grandfather looked like him. I have photos where you'd be like, yeah, I can definitely see it. Staring, tenderizing. Then you go. Yeah, it's right. It's almost like he's a pirate. Hey. I'm a shark pirate. What the fuck was he eating?
Saltine.
Saltine cracker?
Yeah.
I wonder if it was salted. Or maybe it was not salted. Maybe he's on a diet or something. Maybe it was a wheat thin.
Little shaking, little tenderizing.
Yeah.
Shark will eat you whole.
You gotta give me a... Are you behind me a little bit? I think you might be behind me a little bit.
They're zooming in on him right now.
Oh yeah, no, same with me.
Volunteers.
$10,000 for me by myself. That's what he just said. Okay, we're in the right spot.
The whole damn thing.
I think it was the head and the tail. It's a dramatic pause. The whole damn thing.
Now, great introduction, but nowhere near as good as what's going to come later. Which
the Indianapolis speech.
It's the best monologue ever in cinema history. One of, if any, you know. I mean, there's very few monologues that rival Quint's speech.
Well, his performance is fantastic. His performance is brilliant, and yes, it is definitely one of the greatest monologues. Yeah, for sure. No swimming, hazardous area, beach closed. The beach is closed. Ooh, super chat from Southpaw82 says, Jaws is a classic, but The Reef is the most terrifying and most realistic shark film I've ever seen. Please give it a watch. I've heard of The Reef.
I've heard of it too. I have to give it a look.
Give it a watch.
Big shoes to fill when you're talking about Jaws, but definitely always worth checking a film out before you criticize it, right?
For sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. Michael Stapp sends in a super chat. Thank you very much, Michael. Says the guy that plays Hendrix was also in Clue, starring a cast including Tim Curry, Michael Keaton, Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren, and Christopher Lloyd. Yes, I remember Clue. I don't remember him in it, but I think...
Clue. I forgot.
Is he in Clue? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he is.
Very cool.
That's right. I love
get drunk and fool around. Movie. That's what she says. Oh yeah,
that's going to be my line to my wife one day if I ever get married or whoever.
Can you imagine if right at this moment,
drunk and fool around, or you want to get high and fool around?
Right at
really drink.
Right at this moment, there's a massive sex scene. You want to get drunk and fool around? All right, and it's massive. It's intense. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Takes up 15 minutes of the movie.
But you know what? In Jaws 1 and 2, the chemistry between Lorraine and Rob are great. You believe them as husband and wife.
Oh, it's great.
Really, really do.
Yeah, you mean Roy.
Roy, yeah. Because of those little one lines. You want to get drunk and fool around and stuff. You believe that's a couple thing to do. Yep. One of my favorite lines that she says to him in Jaws 2 is, you know, when he first arrives and he's late and he's just like, well, how am I supposed to act? And she's like, just look bored. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I freaking crack up because that's the kind of shit you would
was
say
well
to
cast.
each other.
I like this part too when she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it," and then she sees the shark eating the boat, and she's like, "Michael, did you hear your father? Out of the boat now! Now, out of the water." I love it, and look at the water behind them there too, just beautiful. Yep. This is a cool scene.
Oh, this is one of my favorite, like dramatic scenes. As far as just nothing happens, but even though I know nothing happens psychologically, when he's fighting to get back up, it's still like,
oh yeah, it is.
It builds that suspense really good.
It is. And again, you know, because the shark, they were having issues with the shark. How do we show the shark without showing the shark? So they have the dock. They use a piece of the dock as the shark. So it's almost like whatever is under the dock, whether it's a piece of wood or a chain or something, has hooked itself to the shark by accident. So it's hanging on the shark. And when the shark turns, it turns. It was brilliant. I mean, just brilliant. Really, really well done. Again, a lot of these things are, you know, we're desensitized to a lot of these things now because they've been used so often. But way back in the day, people hadn't seen shit like this before. It was fresh. It was new. It was like, fuck. Intense stuff. You got to appreciate it on that level. The older movies become, the more and more vital it is that we appreciate them within their context.
Yep.
Not that these movies don't, you know, hold up, because they do, but certainly, you know, you got to keep that in mind as well.
It'll take years for this movie not to hold up. I mean, years.
And I'm telling you,
maybe.
I know this isn't, and it's not that there aren't certain moments where, you know, it's a little, but I'm telling you right now, maybe I'm just fucking insane, but I find the shark in this movie much more believable and terrifying than any fucking CGI shark I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I agree. The first two sharks in Jaws 1 and 2, absolutely agree.
Yeah, I think it looks. There's a tangibility to it. It looks
big,
real.
but not like super big. You know what I mean? Not like ridiculous.
Right. And again, I know if you were to pause it and look at it, you can see that. I get it. But I'm telling you, man, there isn't a CGI shark I've seen. CGI sharks, they move too fast. They're too quick. They look computer generated. I just don't believe them to be in the actual space. This, when I see it, like when I see it coming up, biting that guy's leg, or I see it, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, yes, it's there. Or when it's, when it comes up out of the water as, hey, why don't you come down here and chump, You
ever notice too at this
some
moment
of this shit?
when
I
the
believe
doc,
it.
when the doc turns, how Williams changes shift tones in the song.
Yes.
So he's doing it again. He's playing
right
along
here
with the tempo of the scene. So when
the intensity,
when Bruce shifts and turns, the music shifts and turns with the moment, which is great. Composing by John Williams, man.
Fantastic. And the doc's coming. You don't see the shark at all. No. It's like, come on. You know it's there. Bum, 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 bum. It's fantastic. God, I mean, this would have been fucking terrifying, man. I would have gone to see this movie again and again and again in 1975. People did.
Can we go
like
home
that? Can
now?
we go home now?
Fuck.
I know. Couple super chats here came in. The Film Addict sends in a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, hey, Dave and Tony, what type of shark is your favorite? Great white. The fact that the megalons existed is terrifying. Really crazy. The shark was that damn big. Well, not as big as in the Meg. I think that was an over exaggeration. But the megalodons were big. Were very, very big.
That's in
really cool. My favorite is a great white for
Yeah,
sure.
great white. This, it's the one I've spent most time watching documentaries on, or stuff. When Shark Week happens, I tend to pay more attention to the great white
because of Jaws. Because
it really is because of Jaws. It's that connection to Jaws.
It's the one that it's the boogeyman in the water. It's the one thing we're all afraid of. When people say, oh my God, are there sharks in there? They're not talking about, look, any shark would scare the shit out of anybody. But
for sure.
People are really what they're talking about is there a great white in there? Intel Wild sends a super chat and says, well, we're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, definitely are, Intel. Thanks, buddy. And then Intel Wild says, it's me, Billy, eating up the Indiegogo campaign just like Jaws. It's doing well. It's doing well, man. So far, so good. Really appreciate everybody's support thus far to the Indiegogo campaign. We've raised, as of right now, 25% of our production budget, and we're only 2.5 days in. Now, like I've said many times, this thing will inevitably slow down because there's ebbs and flows to these kinds of things, but it's so great to see such a strong start, because then we're not playing catch up necessarily. So thank you to everybody who has donated, who will continue to donate, who has yet to donate. We really appreciate it. And remember, if you are thinking, well, I'd like to give some more money, but I already have a couple of perks and I really don't want another poster or a Blu-ray or whatever. If you're on your desktop, there's a little pink button at the top of the campaign that says back it. If you click on that, it'll bring you to a section where you can donate. So you can donate $10, $5, $2, $100, however much you want. So you can do that as well. And they're not associated with perks, but it's just like if you have some extra cash and you want to help, you can do that as well. If you're on your mobile, you have to scroll to the end of the very last perk, which is the total package perk. And there should be a little donate button there with an icon of two hands shaking. So you click that and you can donate there as well. So, but there's still some perks up, and we might have some perks coming too. You never know. We'll see how the campaign goes. But yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. We're doing well. We're doing so far so good. We got to keep going though. Long way to go. We still got 75% to go. Long way to go.
Did you get to all the super chats?
Let me see here. Agent Priest says, hey, Dave and Tony, Jaws or Deep Blue Sea? Jaws.
Jaws.
I like Deep Blue Sea. I saw that in the theater. It was fun.
Yeah, it's good.
But Jaws all the way. Jaws is the best shark movie ever made, in my opinion. But I haven't seen The Reef yet. Got to see that reef. I love this. They're all out there looking for the tiger shark.
Chumming it.
Yep. It's a tiger shark. A what?
There's a bad cut in here because...
Yes, there is.
I've never understood the dialogue when Dreyfuss has the hand and he says that line and this is what happens or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like a misplaced dialogue line because it's not part of the conversation.
there's a it's like they tried to splice two things together. It's like they cut in another sentence while he was in the middle of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I know. I've always thought that ever since I've seen it. Richard Dreyfuss was fantastic.
Hoopa!
Can you believe that Richard Dreyfuss in this movie, I think, is only like 28?
He's a baby, man. He's a
baby.
baby in this film.
Spielberg's like 28. I love his performance. It was so great.
He was.
Do not smoke in here. Thank you very much.
So authoritative.
I know. Do not smoke in here. Thank you very much. It is. It's so like dudes in command. Here it comes.
Yeah, this is what happens.
Okay, so this is what happens. I can tell. I can tell by the audio. I can tell you right now. So this is what happens, I believe, was ADR'd afterwards. I believe it was added in because it doesn't quite sound like it's in the same space as the dialogue we're hearing here.
And it doesn't even fit to the context of the sentence that he's saying. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Like,
well, yes. And then when it picks up after that, it sounds like, what, did we cut some? But the audio, it's fine. It totally works. I buy it. I believe it. But if you want to get technical and picky, it definitely sounds like, ADR. So this is what happens was ADR'd after. Yeah.
Yep.
Tiger shark. A what? I want to punch that guy in the face. A what?
Still a big ass shark.
Yeah.
State Wire Services. Let's go show you how old this film is.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they got the news out. State Wire Services.
State Wire Services.
Now you just do everything right here on your phone.
Yep. Ben Gardner, get this. There's Quint just looking at it. He knows. Yeah, he knows. Quint knows. He's looking at it laughing. He's like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, they think that's the shark. That ain't the shark. Picture for the paper. Come on. Now it'd be like, come on. I need a picture for Instagram.
Yeah, I know, right? Selfie.
Selfie
with the shark.
Selfie with the shark. That's what it would be, totally.
God.
Come on.
Hashtag all sharks matter. Just saying. That's what it would be.
Oh, would be. It'd be something awful like that. There we go. Yeah, I got all the super chats.
A what?
A what? Fucking idiot. Come on, Larry. I love the scene where Hooper is moving from one side of the frame to the other, and all you hear him saying is, I'm not saying it isn't the shark, I'm saying that it probably isn't the shark because of the... While the other people in the background are like, this was great, this is... I love that juxtaposition.
Absolutely.
Love that, because he's the shark expert. So that, him moving by the frame saying that tells you that, also another hour left in the movie should tell you that.
And just so you know, guys, that's not an easy thing to do. That's very choreographed to have a scene of having overlapping conversations, but you as the audience member can understand that. That is well rehearsed. That's not something you just do. It's a timing thing for Dreyfuss to come in like that, for us to understand what Dave just said there and the dialogue that he's talking about. All at the same time, you have Brody and the mayor behind having a conversation that you can understand what they're doing. You know what I mean? That's not an easy thing to do in cinema.
Yep. I love this dialogue. Let's cut it open. Is bound to still be in there, and then we'll be sure. And Murray's all about, I'm not going to let you cut open and watch that little Kintner boy spill all over the dock. It's coming up here. I love it. Fellas, look. Excuse me. Half-ass autopsy on a fish. The dialogue in this movie is the writing is so good. And the performances are so strong.
Oh, yeah.
You know, see, this is what I mean. We haven't even seen the fucking shark, and we don't care. We don't care because the characters are so well developed. The performances are so good. The relationships that are building between us are so strong. It's just great to watch.
Well, and I'm beginning to wonder if...
Wow. What a slap.
The guy who plays the mayor, I forget his name again. What's his name? The actor?
Murray Hamilton.
Murray Hamilton. I'm wondering if him and Spielberg had a conversation and said, you know what, because they were having so much mechanical problems with the shark, that they changed the mayor to be more the antagonist for Brody on screen, because you're right. You don't really have much of an antagonist other than the mayor right now.
Yeah. I'd have to look at I wonder if we can get our hands on the original script, because sometimes you can download them online. Just
to see like where was the direction he was originally going with the character, that maybe they had to change it so that it did create an antagonist, you know, for the time being until we get to the you know, when they're out at sea.
Exactly. Archie Riverdale sends in a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, hi, Dave and Tony. My B-day is this month. The big 18. Oh, birthday. And the reef was scary as hell. That's what my brother said. Well, there you go. Happy birthday. What is it? It's this month. Happy birthday, man. 18. Oh,
to be 18
the big
again.
18.
Yeah.
I was 18.
Sucks to even have to say to be 18 again.
1997 is when we turned 18.
Yeah. 1997.
Yeah.
God damn, we're old.
Yeah. Sucks.
It does.
I love that. I'm sorry, Martin. She's wrong. No, she's not. And she is and she isn't. Like, I get that lot. Like, she is and she isn't. He should have, I mean, it's up to the mayor at the end of the day. It really is his fault, but he should have fought harder. But he doesn't want to lose his job either. Of course, he ends up losing his job in part 2.
I like this with the kid and him doing the thing at the table.
Yeah.
Mimicking each other.
It's a good moment. It's a nice,
it's a tender moment between his father and his son.
Right. And it makes it's a good character building moment that establishes an authenticity between between a father and his family.
Yep.
To help you as an audience member care about what happens to him and care about the relationship that he has here at home with his family, his wife and his children. And so when he goes out onto the sea, again, it's not like you're thinking about this consciously, but it really does help to paint that picture for you.
Well, you as the audience now,
building.
You want to protect Brody even more. You don't want to see anything happen to him. Right.
Because you see, although he's not perfect and maybe he should have fought harder to keep the beaches closed, he appears to be a good father, you know, and a loving man and a husband. And that was different because in the book, obviously, I think there's an affair that happens between Hooper and her, the mom. They got rid of that.
They throw on some Marvin Gaye and get it on. Not literally, but yeah. Frank Riker, Tony Michael, where's your Mayor Vaughn jackets? I don't own any. Honestly, I don't own any dress jackets or any blazers.
I might.
I don't. I hate getting dressed up. I will avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, I don't mind getting dressed up, but I've only gotten dressed, like really the only couple of times I've gotten dressed up in the last few years is at the Voice Arts Awards. That's it. Because I don't have a job that I need to go to work in a suit or anything. So.
Oh, and this is one of the coolest. By adding sound design to it, it works. Jump scares that we're coming up to with Gardner's boat.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Right.
It's such a great jump scare, you know, and it's so like that's how you do it with the sound design, and they don't overdo it in the movie. You don't have a lot of jump scares.
That's right.
With the sound. It's just one. It's effective, and there you go.
That's it.
2020 filmmaking, it's all right. We need like 15 more of those.
Yeah, and this conversation, the dialogue and the timing, it feels so natural, and it's not like we're not going in for cut. We're just on this one master shot here of the three of them in frame, and we're just watching it play out. It's beautiful, simple and beautiful, and you can see the nuances between each of the characters. Brody's reaction to what the conversation is like. You can see him reach for the bottle of wine, and his, you know, there's a saying in acting, you probably heard it many times, that acting is reacting, which essentially that means that, you know, 90% of the time you are reacting to what other people are doing or saying. And to see Brody reacting just, you know, to the conversation here between Hooper and Ellen Brody, I think her name's Ellen, right? Yeah. Is great, you know, and he's just sort of, you know, doing his thing, and we'll eventually cut in for a couple of close-ups, but this master shot here is we just linger on it. And it's just great to let it naturally play out. There we go. Now we've made our first cut.
That's long. That's a long hold.
That is a long hold. Yeah. I love that. A shark, not the shark. Now we've established a different master. You want to let that?
I love that. He's just like, and again, it says a lot to how he's performing with the character right now, and how he feels the chief would be at this moment.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to get drunk, and that's
it. That's it. Well, it's great to see so many people here. 192 people watching today. That's great stuff. Watching the classic Jaws. Now it's a floating asylum. I can tell that has been ADR'd and added in.
Yep.
It's just has a different sound to it. It's not awful. I mean, I've heard worse. It's fine. It does the trick, but I can tell that he probably didn't say that at that moment. When you deal with voiceovers as much as I do, you can pick up on that pretty easily.
Drowning.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that too. What do you call it? Drowning.
Drowning. That's like a very simple explanation. You don't need to go in depth. Drowning.
I love the line, I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of dying. Exactly. I'm afraid of falling. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling.
Rogue,
yeah. I love how he's just like picking at the top of the wine. He's drunk. He's just picking at nothing. Agent Priest sends in a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, hey, Dave, my B-Day is in August. Joining level 2 Patreon. Awesome, buddy. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I love that.
I can do anything. I'm the chief of police. Yeah.
Elementary canal. I love this. How there's like throwing like a license plate. You know, he didn't need a car, did he? No. Great performance. I believe that he's cutting open a shark, and then you start to see like all this like milk type stuff or whatever it is, and white liquid, and it's great.
Head of a fish.
Yeah.
Looks like a real fish.
I would love to see.
Looks like a real fish too.
I would love to see, I don't know if there is, but I'd love to see the other side of this and like there we kind of.
Sort of, but not really.
I'd love to see it, just how they did that would be cool. What's that plate there? What does that say?
Louisiana.
That's great. Intel Wild sends a super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, after we bring Billy back, possibly bring Jaws back. Oh, yeah, Jaws. Yeah, I'm going to need a bit more than $60K for that. Or $45K for my American friends. I love that with a mouth about this big. And I love the line to that. What does he say at the end? Or he's like, that's a 20-footer. 25. 3 tons on him. 25. Fuck.
That's a big boy.
That's a monstrous shark.
I'm not drunk enough to go out on the boat.
Yeah. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yes, you are.
Wasn't this shot? Well, I know that the Ben Gar, like the scene when he's underwater was shot in a pool, right? Yeah. And this here, I can't remember if it was a lake or in the studio. The boat was on the water. I can't remember now. I don't know.
It was something like that. I know it wasn't out in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Which is the Atlantic is where Martha's Vineyard is, where they filmed this.
Yeah.
Did you know not too long ago, within the last 10 years, an actual incident happened up there? Like something like this. Like someone got attacked by a shark. I don't know if the person died or not, but it happened up at Martha's Vineyard. It was in the last like 10 years. Some like a shark attack happened up there.
I didn't know that.
And it was a great white.
Wow, very interesting. Zach Gaxiola sends in not a super chat, but he says, I think we can all agree that Jaws 2 is the only good sequel out of the bunch. 100%. I love Jaws 2. Yeah. I think Jaws 2 is, it's far inferior. Jaws 2 is like Halloween 2.
It's a solid sequel.
It's fine. Yeah, it's solid.
Yep.
As far as a sequel goes, it's pretty good. You know, it's not nearly as good as the original. They up the ante a bit, but it's pretty good. You know, it's not bad. I mean, it's an acceptable sequel. And then it's, you know, essentially
all a shit show from Dennis Quaid on.
Is that oh God, that's an awful
Poor
movie.
Dennis.
I know. Love that shot. There's the boat and there's something out there. I love that line. And he looks down and then he looks up and he's like, there's something out there. I love that. Here it comes. So great. And they cut into the close-up right there.
Yep.
Love that. There's something else out there. Love it. And they don't show you what he's, again, it's just so great. Why can't they make movies like this anymore?
That's some of the calmest ocean water you are ever going to see, man.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God.
I could believe it though. If you were just off the shore at nighttime, maybe it's a little calm.
Not that calm. Ocean water is never that flat. Not like that, dude. There's no way ocean water is that flat. That's too calm.
There's the boat.
Especially from being up there, and I've been up there.
Yeah.
That's nowhere about like the Atlantic.
Yeah.
But still, a great scene.
Very
great scene. Fantastically shot.
Yep. Beautiful cinematography.
The jump scare is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to go down there and check their hoe. He goes down there and he checks. There's like a woman down there who's a prostitute. But I'm bumching. That was awful.
Danita Brown. Happy ending, man.
Danita Brown says, I haven't seen any Jaws movies except for 1 and 2. The others didn't look interesting. Danita, you're not missing much.
Not missing much at all.
Nope.
Now, I will say this, because if you guys are watching along, it's coming up here very shortly after this scene. If they were to do a Jaws movie, I have championed and said many times to do the 1916 story, which Jaws is sort of loosely based on the real events that happened off the New Jersey Shore. If you don't know it, check it out. Watch documentaries on it. The story behind that alone would make for a really good Jaws movie. And you can connect it to this first movie here, because after this scene and they're back on the beach and they're talking to the mayor again, Brody and Hooper talk about the 1916 events.
Right.
So you've made it canon. It's part of this. It's part of the universe. Right. But you don't have to have this Brody connection like they did with the franchise. You can have its own independent standalone film. And like you and I have said, you set it in 1916. You take away all modern technology, and to me, that would be even more creepier.
You know what? You've mentioned this before on the show, as you said, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's a very interesting idea that should be explored. I just want to say I love when he takes the tooth out of the boat and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, look at the size of that tooth. Here it comes.
So great.
Yeah.
It didn't get me like it used to, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's still creepy. It's still creepy. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. I pulled the tooth, the size of a shot glass, out of the wreck of a boat out there. I love this scene.
It's coming up. Listen to the dialogue.
Yep. Here it comes, yeah. Yep.
It's canon. The storyline is canon of what really happened. So, I mean, it's like, that's your Jaws movie right there.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Such a great scene, the dialogue, the chemistry between these actors.
And you know how I would end the 1916 Jaws sequel, whatever you want to call it?
What's that?
I'd have the last line between two people that they catch the shark, they kill it, yay, it's all safe and whatnot. And you have the line go, well, at least it's safe to go back in the water again. And you have the guy turn, look out the ocean, and he says, I don't think so. And then you take the camera and the camera goes into the water with the Williams theme playing, right? And it's playing and you're following the shark along and the credits are rolling and all this stuff like that. Yeah. And then at the very end, you get a split-second post-credit scene, the shark's eyes coming out of the water, and you hear Chrissy say, come on, come into the water. And you see her silhouette in the foreground of doing her little kick thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What she was doing in the water, and the shark goes back underwater and it fades to black. There you go.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot.
It's all connected.
Oh,
in
yeah.
a very simple way.
I like that. I think it's a cool idea to be explored.
And the whole point of the shark following along from in underwater, it's progressing time. And there's a scene here in this movie where they talk about how, I think Brody says, you don't know how old sharks are. They can be hundreds of thousands of years old. We don't know. Was it already happened, that line? Has that passed? Do you know? What's
that? The
line where they talk about how old sharks are, where they don't know the accuracy of the age of sharks.
I'm not sure.
I think we've gone past that.
Darren Sands here says the 1916 Jaws movie was made in 2004, written by Tommy Lee Wallace. It was called 12 Days of Terror. Probably could do with a remake. I've never even heard of it.
Never even heard it.
I'll have to check that out.
Well, Tommy Lee.
Good old Tommy Lee
Not the
Wallace.
drummer from Motley Crue.
No, that's right. Not Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson.
No.
And
David Cameron, can I say the company's name on your website or while we're live?
I don't see why not. Yeah, why not? You're giving me, as long as,
it's your channel.
I assume you're giving them positive feedback.
No, I am, but it's your channel. I didn't know if you wanted to plug someone else's.
No, whatever. It's not like, whatever.
This I got at 80s Tea. I think it was 80s Tea. I want to say it was 80s
That's a good place.
Yeah, a little bit on the pricier side, but the art design obviously is fucking awesome. Yeah. That's where I got all my Jaws shirts. The last 4 days I've been wearing Jaws shirts because I usually do that on the 4th of July. I never was, even growing up as a kid, I never wore like patriotic t-shirts. It's nothing I have anything against the flag or anything. It's just not my thing. But I got a collection of Jaws shirts that I wear always around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
That's the ferry that we would take. That's legit. That's legit. The ferry you would take from Cape Cod, because you would drive up from Connecticut to Cape Cod, and then from Cape Cod you would take the ferry over to Martha's Vineyard.
And look at all those Michael Myers station wagons. I can't believe that the Jaws movie on YouTube here has 6.7 thousand thumbs up, but 1.5 thousand thumbs down. Who the fuck are those idiots? Fuck, man. People hate. Trolls gonna troll. People are just gonna hate. 1.5 thousand thumbs. Listen, it'd be different if there was like 100,000 thumbs up, but that's a fucking idiots. Bad day.
I've kept this in my for the right occasion, and this is the right occasion. It's a quote I heard a while back, and I wrote this down, or I think I might have saw it on my Instagram, and I told the person, I messaged them, I said, I'm stealing that from you because they left it as a comment, and they said that movies like this was made back at a time when it was fun, before the fandom decided it all had to make sense and fit together perfectly, and that is very true. 100%. The fandom today has just destroyed. Movie was not like this back in the day, man. It was not at all.
This reporter here is Peter Benchley. He's the guy that wrote the book.
He's the author.
Yep, that's him. I think he's still alive, isn't he? I think he is.
Should be.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. Geeked Out Turtles fan 40 says, you also can't forget that they focus on their different personalities and their approach to getting rid of the shark. That's true too. Great point. What were you going to say?
Where the mayor and the helicopter flies over and you see that like close up of the mayor and you see him lip bastards.
Yes.
That's so great because you're like, this dude's a fucking dick. There are people literally dying. And this dude's worried about having people at the beach and getting his money. And it's great. It's great. It makes you, as the audience, go, fucking douchebag.
Exactly. Why aren't you in the water?
and he's trying to get people into the water, and you're like, no, motherfucker, there's a man-eating shark there.
That's it.
It's great storytelling. That's what you want to do. You want to get your audience engaged. It's not enough to go, wow, this looks great. It's like the one of the recent Jason pictures I did with the girl who's hiding in front of the bed.
Yes.
We obviously did that on purpose because we wanted to get people to go, dude, that's like the worst hiding spot, because it's a cliche of every 80s horror film where the victim would go in the most obvious hiding spot where the killer would find them. And we knew that because that's how you get your audience to engage. And that's what you want. You want someone to go, dude, he's going to find her. She's right there. That's what you want.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Stab says, Dave, he died in 2006. Oh, really? He did. Peter Benchley's died in 2006. That long ago. Wow. I didn't know that.
65. That's young, man. That's like my dad's age.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad was 69. My mom was 67. I love this though. About that. This is so great.
Oh, the pond? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that, and again, going back to what I said earlier about how those kids they fake it with the fake shark fin and things like that, and all the underwater stuff. You don't hear the Jaws theme. And then once they discover that it's kids and you hear, it's just a bunch of kids, they're saying that on the walkie-talkies. And then you begin to you'll hear over the loudspeaker, you'll hear a guy go, folks, we just had some practical jokers. And as you're hearing him say that, you hear, shark from like the lady or not the lady.
Who I think is one of the prettiest girls.
So great.
One of the prettiest girls in this movie is the girl who says that shark. She's the artist. She's painting.
Oh, was she painting? I thought
she's painting something.
Oh, I just remember her. I just remember
she's
her
gorgeous.
Standing
Whoever she was, she's gorgeous.
On the thing. See, now we're underwater here, but there's no music.
No music, so we're safe.
Yeah. Well, we know that now. Yeah. But if you watch this for the first time, you would have been terrified. Yeah.
Is he gonna eat the kid's gonna get it?
Is that a POV of the shark, or is that just an underwater view? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. Is this is this the shark's perspective, or are we just looking at the people from underwater? And it translates more to that, of course, now that you've seen the movie. I love this.
That supposedly injured some bays, or that if that is not a political answer or response, I don't know what is.
I know.
And he plays that perfect.
Oh, he does.
So perfect.
I love these little shots where you see the fin in the background.
Yep.
And then of course here it comes up right beside these two ladies.
No music.
No music at all. Have you ever noticed that, anybody? There's no music at all. There's no music.
His reaction is great.
I know.
And he's like, screw you kids, get out of my way.
I know. And they just be looking at the camera. 350, there's a shark over there. Come on, everybody. Yeah, let's go. I love this. No music whatsoever.
None.
And you wouldn't be thinking, like, it wouldn't necessarily resonate with you when you're watching this movie for the first time, because you're so enamored with the action, everything going on. You wouldn't be thinking about that.
No. I'm listening to you. I know it's coming up here. I'm almost positive she's painting in the pond, or painting a picture of the pond.
It's coming up after the
right,
okay.
Very shortly, where they discover it's. By the way, I always thought that one of the kids that's under the fin looks like the kid who's playing Brody's son, Michael. Like they could have been brothers.
Little bit.
Little bit.
The big fat guy just got trampled on. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
I love how everybody, and I love this shot. The old man is being dragged. Love it. Oh yeah.
You see that dude smiling and laughing with wearing a tie? Did anybody catch that?
No, I didn't.
If you ever get a chance, and that's the first time I ever saw that. Okay, when they're running out of the water, there's a dude standing there with a tie on, with his hair back in a ponytail, and he's laughing and smiling.
Oh, that's weird.
I literally just caught that.
You're right. The kid here,
doesn't he look like Michael? A little bit.
Looks like he could. A little bit.
Looks like they could be brothers.
Love that perspective. The gun's just right in their faces. Now here comes the girl, and you'll hear the folks. We just had some practical jokers. You'll hear that in a second as she sees the shark, moving into the pond.
And here comes the girl. I mean, she's hot. She's really hot.
You're right,
she's
the
painting.
artist. You're right.
She's painting. She's pretty, man.
There it is. Here it comes. Now you hear the music. Here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Martin, Michael's in the pond. Whoa, whoa. And then as he's walking and we're tracking,
it begins
definitely
the
on a
tempo
dolly.
picks up.
Yeah, don on don on don on don on don on don. And as it stops, you see the shark go under the water. It's just beautiful, right there. Oh, right beside little Sean. Oh, I love it.
Little Sean is a little clueless at the moment.
Oh, this is fucking one of the greatest. This is fucking one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history right here. This is so unbelievably intense and exciting. Oh my God. Look at the fin. Well, that perspective is so great. Now, this feels like this knocks any CGI fucking shark scene out of the water to me, no pun intended. Watch this. Look at that!
Oh, it's beautiful!
Oh! It's gorgeous! You see just enough. Oh, that's terrifying! That is terrifying! Dude, look at the blood. Dude, that's terrifying now in 2020. Imagine watching this in 1975. Oh my God, that's terrifying. And the shock that has come over Michael is unbelievable. And then there's just the fin going underneath the dock there. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Dude, like that scene alone to me is more convincing than any CGI shark death scene I think I've ever seen. Ever. It feels real because it's actually something that's in the space. Yeah. And how light moves through water, how physical objects move through the water has not necessarily been mastered with CGI. I know James Cameron is in the middle of trying to do that and is facing that with his Avatar sequels. He's working on technology with that. But when you actually have something physically in the space, moving through the space, the way the light catches things, that shark, it's there, and it's terrifying.
And even this, I love this when Brody looks out at the water again, and you know, like, okay, it's personal. Yeah. You come after my son, it's personal. I'm coming after you, boy.
Yeah. Fuck. Man, that was intense. Coffee. Such a kid thing to say. It's as if what kid would say coffee over ice cream? What the fuck's wrong with this kid? I love that line, though. It's great. No, home, here. And she's like, okay. I love that moment, that pause. It's that. Well,
never run and hide from adversity. You always got to face your fears.
Yep. Now look at this smug. Look at this mayor. Should be fired, and he's not. He's still the mayor in part 2. You got a pen, Larry? I'm going to stick it up your ass. Can you imagine that's what he did? And he does it? He does it. He bends him over. He puts on some medical gloves. He's still thinking about
August,
yes,
right. He's right. Still being the douchebag mayor that you. This is what you. He literally plays a politician perfect because that is every fantastic. Politician.
Yeah, fantastic. What the fuck's your point? Well, then do the right thing, Larry. If your kids were on that beach too, you got to do the right thing.
Sign it.
Sign it. You signed it. And now we go to Quinn. So you finally came a hollering.
$10,000.
$10,000 won't get you shit in 2020. He's like, I want 50. I love his plays too. We see all the shark jaws and everything.
Yeah,
such great detail, great set design.
You're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I know. He's like, oh, fuck yeah. Great set design. Like the production design of this movie was terrific.
Quint is the quintessential fisherman.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
he really
yeah.
is.
Like shark guy for sure.
Yeah.
He's what you'd expect if you needed to hire somebody in like a small town to hire a shark, or to hire a shark to kill a shark. Hire him to kill the shark. I mean, it's so great. Oh, wait. And Robert Shaw had a bit of a drinking problem.
He did.
Yeah, he was a little, quite a few scenes.
He had some fun.
He had some fun.
Maybe not so much for the production people, but he had fun.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it became a bit of an issue. It was great, though. I mean, you know, his performance, yeah.
It's one of the best character performances in cinema.
Oh, it's great. And the relation,
shocking for
I'm talking about shocking. I'm talking about fun.
But I like how Dreyfuss played the character like, I'm not going to back down from you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a smart way to play the character.
Yep.
Like, I don't care. I'm not going to back down.
Yep. And the thing is, too, is that this relationship between them on screen was pretty much their relationship off screen, too.
Yeah. Well, Dreyfuss has said he's respected. You know, he said to her, Shaw's granddaughter here, and like literally almost like got in tears as he, you know, talked about it. How much respect he had for Robert Shaw.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he was a great actor, and you know, I think there was a bit of a Robert
rivalry.
Shaw. There was a bit of tough love, I think, and I think Robert Shaw probably knew that this young kid was very talented. Yeah, and there was a bit of a just kind of, you know,
I'm gonna push you, buddy, and let's go, let's do this.
Did he have to do it? No, but there was a bit of a he was a bit of a.
But, you know, things like that, you know what, though? I don't mind things like that because that's how you elevate each other's performances. You know, we need more of that type of shit. This whole, like, PC culture, we're like, well, okay, I'm not going to. I'll back up. No, man, you take a great actor like Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss, and they pushed each other. And that's and we get it in their performance in this movie.
Well, Richard Dreyfuss is and was too talented to be intimidated by that.
Yeah.
And although, like I said, there were a lot of offset kind of like, okay, like, you know, okay, can we just stop? You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, in retrospect, obviously, there's a lot of love and affection there. And I think if Robert were alive today, of course, he'd be very, very old. But if he had lived past 1978 or whatever it was when he died, he probably would have had, who knows? I mean, who knows? But he probably would have had some nice things to say about
I love this
Richard
line.
Dreyfuss.
This is one of my favorite lines in the movie. Cage go in the water. You go in the water. Sharks in the water. Our shark.
Yeah, it's so great. Here it is.
You go inside the cage.
Yep.
And Dreyfuss's reaction is great.
I know.
Our shark.
Yep. Farewell and adieu to you, dear Spanish ladies. Well, you couldn't sing this now.
No. Are you kidding me? No.
Here's to swimming with bone-legged women. I mean, you couldn't say that.
God, no. God, no, you couldn't say that shit. No.
It's so great. Such a great shot of Richard Dreyfuss.
And Dreyfuss
really
doesn't
nice
say anything.
Exposure, great on his face.
His reaction is he doesn't need to say anything. He's just like you said earlier. He's reacting to Shaw's performance.
Right. That's right. That's right. You son of a bitch! I love that.
I see you brought your rubbers.
I know. And Brody is playing that like there's an arc for him, right? Like
little
he's intimidated
nerdy,
by the water, nerdy. You know, you know, that's what he's like, of course. But he goes out there, and I know this sounds sort of, I don't mean this in the literal sense, because obviously he is an adult. He's like a 40-something-year-old man here, but there's a bit of him becoming a man.
Yeah.
For his character. You know, he faces his fear. He has to swim back to shore after he kills the shark. You know, like all these things. I mean, he becomes sort of, it's like he's going out with the boys, the men. I'm going out with the men, the boys. You know, and he's got he's going to be.
He says, I see you brought your rubbers. Okay. I think I said the line wrong. Whatever. Y'all know what I meant.
It's kind of like initiation a little bit.
Even that, for 15 years, she kept virginity.
You couldn't
say that shit today, man.
No, you couldn't.
Well, at least we got these to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Good films. I love this shot. I love this shot through
it's
the
great.
Framing a bit around the shark's mouth.
Yeah.
Again, foreshadowing what's going to come now.
The teeth right at the top there, and the boat.
Beautifully framed.
The orca right between the two teeth in that space. It was great. It's a great shot. Great composition.
If they don't love you going out, they'll love you coming in.
Yep. The orca.
Yeah. I wish I could. Man, I wish I could do a photo shoot like this. It just would.
And dude, and as you know, and as a lot of us do know, they really did shoot this on the ocean. Now, they were not.
This is the ocean.
Yes. They were not like, way out in the middle of the ocean like they're trying to make it seem.
Give you that illusion.
Right. They always framed it against the backdrop of the open space as opposed to land, which was maybe,
right there for them, probably.
Yeah, it was, I think it was fairly close, maybe 100 yards or something like that. Maybe a bit long, maybe a bit more than that. Probably a bit more than that, actually. But certainly not way out there like they're, with no sign of land.
Southpaw 82, nice $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. I have read that Dreyfuss and Shaw were actually under the influence during the Annapolis speech. Any truth to that? Probably, especially for Shaw.
Probably. Dreyfuss,
a lot of truth to that.
I love this. I love this scene where he takes the styrofoam cup, and it's so great.
But it plays back to this. Remember, not too long ago, there was the scene there between Brody and his son mimicking each other.
That's right.
And this is very parallel in the way you see the evolution of Hooper and Quint becoming almost like brothers.
Yep.
And, and right there, Dreyfuss was doing like that little brother annoying thing, and I'm copying you now with my little, plastic cup.
Yeah, it's so great. I bet you that got a laugh in even in the, in 1975. I bet you that got a laugh for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Frank Riker sends a super chat and says, thanks, buddy. Says, Quint's obsession with sharks can also be said about Loomis with Michael. Plus, during his Indianapolis speech, talk about having lifeless dull eyes. I could not agree more. Great insight there, Frank. Yeah. Great detail. For sure. I agree with that. And then a super chat from David Lee Barron. Thank you very much. Says, dear Senor Pichet, I think the mechanical sharks in Deep Blue Sea are realistic too, but not the CGI ones. What do you think? Yes, in Deep Blue Sea, there were a few moments where they did use
real ones,
and they actually looked pretty good. Yeah, they did. They did because they're real.
Sorry, not real one.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. I saw Deep Blue Sea in the theater back in '98, I think.
That's the Samuel L. Jackson.
It was, where he's talking and then the shark comes up and grabs him.
Grabs him down.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fun movie,
Ladies love Cool James.
Yep.
LL Cool J's in the movie.
That's right.
That was his like Halloween H2O, Deep Blue Sea, like back to back.
That was his early run when he was just getting into acting.
Yeah. I love this.
I think this is one of the this isn't the moment.
No, but this is when he thinks he's got something.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
It's like now, like here's and now you see him, like he's all like decked out. He's like, fuck, he's got this gigantic rod. That didn't sound right. He's got this gigantic fishing rod, the wire, and he's got this big vest, and he's putting in this thing, and he's hooking himself up, and it's like, fuck, and you really get this guy knows his shit. Like it's intense. Like he's done this before. And obviously he has. I mean, you look at his place with all the, You're taking a hell of a lot of line. A hell of a lot of line.
Hoopa!
I know, it's so great. It's so great. I love this. Great shots. and they didn't want to shoot this on the ocean water. They wanted to shoot it in a studio.
It loses the effect if you did that.
100%. Oh yeah, you would have totally.
You don't get the natural buoy action happening with the boat the way it should be happening out in the ocean right now.
Yeah, yeah, and you would have been able to tell if they. Yeah, it's so. I mean, and it was a very exhausting, tedious, logistical, problem-plagued
nightmare.
Nightmare. But
for these guys. But well worth it in the end, man.
Wow.
Well fucking worth it.
Yeah. I love his face there. He looks so intense. Like he's really focusing on something. He's got onto the boat. His damn feet's got onto the boat. But just the intensity in his performance is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I should dig up a picture of my grandfather. He really does look like him. I don't think so. Quint, let it go. It's not a shark. He's going to say that in a sec. He says it was so funny.
Hoopa.
Hoopa. Not Hooper. Hoopa.
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 It's not a shark.
Darren Sand says, amazing that Shaw wasn't at least nominated for his performance. I couldn't agree more. Best supporting actor? I mean, Jesus. He was brilliant. And under the influence, which may have contributed to his brilliance.
I mean, one can argue and say maybe it was method. Maybe that's how he felt the character,
Yeah.
Just drunk, rough, hard neck freaking fisherman.
That's right. That's right. Maybe that was it, man. I don't know. I love that. He's like, oh, fuck, I fell down. Like he's this kid, doesn't know what he's doing or something. Alan.
And I love Hooper's Dreyfuss's reaction.
Oh, I know.
It's perfect.
It's like he's a little kid.
It's the brother dynamic relationship that they're playing.
It's so good. Like folks, again, think of how little we've seen the shark. Think of where the focus really is on this movie. It's on the characters, the relationship between the characters and the dynamic. We need to care about them, so we care about what's happening on the ocean. And, it's not that, listen, it's not that Hollywood's incapable of delivering a movie like this. They do it all the time with, other films. But I just think that I somehow have very little confidence that whoever makes a Jaws remake, if they were to do it, that they would be so focused on the shark aspect and not enough on the characters. It's they'd want it to turn into a movie. It's not. Jaws is a horror movie, yes, but it's a thriller drama. It's a horror drama. There's more substance. There's more meat on the bone than just a little shark movie killing people. It's so. And these shots here of him in the crow's nest, I believe what they call this. Well, there's a minute. I think it's different. Yeah, he's up there and he's looking down and just the wind blowing and just the ambience and and there's no shark. Where is the shark? What's going on? Of course, he's gonna pop up here in a second, but
in an iconic moment in cinema,
Oh, you're gonna need a bigger boat, which I believe that line wasn't even in the screenplay.
No, I think he did ad-lib that, right?
Yeah, I think so. What a fucking, and when you think you're going to need a bigger boat, it's like, what do you mean I'm going to need a bigger boat? How big is this fucking, again, it's like that, not theater of the mind, but it's in that ballpark. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh!
And his reaction is perfect. This is one of the best moments in cinema.
Oh, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is great. I got to hear this. This is great. The cigarette just dangling on there, in his mouth. And he's not even looking at Quint. There it is.
Nope.
He's not even looking at Quint. When he says it, he's looking out the window. And this here is one of the great Jaws themes. Of course, we've heard it all through the movie, but right here is one of the last times we hear it in this movie.
Yep.
Right here. Shuts off the engine. Bum, 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 bum. Look at Quint's face. Bum, 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 bum. And look at it. It's coming. It's coming. It's that storm. It's coming.
This like, this is bigger than I anticipated.
Yes. He's looking at like, what the fuck is that coming? Look at the size of that thing.
Bruce! Big boy.
Oh, man. Terrifying. 25.
Again, something but brothers would do. I'm going to one up you by 5 feet.
Yep. Wow. And
then how it changes in from that Jaws theme to this adventure music.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, bang on. Wow. Circling the boat. And thank goodness the shark, mechanical shark. What a brilliant piece of technology. In 1975, and they got this shark actually under the water moving around. I mean, Jesus. Great work, guys.
Great innovation.
And the thing is, too, is that in what little moments there are where you look at the shark and go, okay, I can kind of... Because everything around the shark and the movie is so incredibly strong, including the dynamic and relationships between everybody, it doesn't matter because everything else is so strong. Yeah, this is great. I know what you're laughing at. Go out there. What for?
Well, because I get the photography reference, and I need you in the foreground to give it some scale.
That's right.
Like,
yeah,
I love that because I get the photography reference because it's true. When you're posing something against something big, you want to have your subject in the foreground of it.
That's
so you
it.
Get the mass of how big whatever it is you're shooting it juxtaposed to.
That's exactly right.
And Brody's like, "Fuck you, foreground."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Man, intense. Hooper.
Hooper.
Yeah, he's always like coming down on him. And then when they shoot the barrels into him,
do a drinking game from this video of how many times Dave and Tony say Hooper during the stream. Take a shot. We've said it enough now. People would be freaking shit faced.
Hooper. Hooper!
Hooper!
Not Hooper! Hooper! Your turn, Quint. I love this. And I love the way the shark comes by when it's just so great. Don't wait for me! I think who says that here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, come on, he's coming! Oh, the music and everything. Tin, 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 tin.
I love the framing of the back shot a moment ago with Quint and the shark.
Yes.
Where you saw Quint bobbing a little bit.
Yep. And I love this detail too. Shooting the thing into the shark and you see blood, red blood come from the shark as the little arrow, whatever it is, goes into the shark. Blood comes from it. Great detail. Because obviously it's not a real shark. So if you just shoot anything into it, there'd be no blood. Great detail.
Not only that, but it becomes the barrel now becomes such a great ally for Spielberg as a director because you don't need the shark. You see the barrel, you know it's the shark.
Exactly. Fantastic. Oh my God, so good. And he brings the barrel down, and the look on Quint's face is great.
He's just looking at Dreyfuss, and Dreyfuss is looking back at him.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, this is a great shot too. Yeah. Not Quint. I meant Richard Dreyfuss's face. Yeah.
This with the sun
look at this. Oh, that's
them.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You as a photographer are going to love that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What a beautiful shot.
I just love how they're just looking at
I know.
looking at each other. It's good.
It's so great.
Sometimes you don't need dialogue, folks. You just look at each other and no words say it all.
David Lee Barron says, "Dear Senor McRae Pichet, would you swim with sharks?"
No, I wouldn't.
Well, it depends. It depends. I mean, maybe supervised small little baby sharks, maybe.
Okay, maybe that. Yeah, that I can.
I wouldn't swim with great white or anything. That no way. Here we are.
Coming up
the
to
scene's
one of
coming
the
up.
most greatest monologue ever said in a movie.
Yep. It won't be permanent, Chief. Want to see something permanent? Boom,
it's
boom, boom.
permanent. That's what I'm saying. He's the quintessential fisherman, man.
He is. But I love the way he's like, "You want to see something permanent? Boom, boom, boom."
Like, what's that fish? Long John, right? Long John Silver. Aren't they the big fish
Long
brand?
John Silver.
Something like that they sell in the stores or something like that.
Captain Highliner, you mean?
Something like that. I don't know what it is. Whatever,
like
whatever the name of that company is, they need to change whoever the logo is on there to Quint.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Well, this is important because I think this is where now you see that real brother bond. Like,
yes.
you already know it's there. The antagonist going back and forth or antagonizing each other. I'm sorry, going back and forth. But now with the exchange of, battle wounds and scars and stuff like that, this is where you see Hooper and Quint begin to really bond.
And it's still competitive because they're still trying to one-up each other. Which is so, and I love when they put like their legs over each other. They don't care. They're like, I love this. This is so great. Look at that. Thresher.
Me and my brother did this same shit, man. Growing up, we'd always be, well, this is what I did today. Oh yeah, this is what I did today.
Oh yeah,
this is what I did. Well, this is what I did.
Exactly.
And he's looking at his appendix scar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the heartbreak.
Yeah, Mary Ellen Moffat. I think that's her name, right? Hang on.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, she broke my heart. The way he laughs. It's what you do when you're either giddy or you're tired or you've had a lot to drink. That one there. Oh, here we go. The Indianapolis speech is coming. It's such a great
Well,
scene.
not only that, but the way Dreyfuss is laughing, and then when he tells him what it is, how quickly he stops.
Yes.
And that's, you can't undermine that performance.
No.
Like how it changes right there.
That's it. You're bang on. I gotta turn this up.
Yeah, I'm just going to listen to it.
It's going to get quiet now here on the show, folks. The bum. So great. It's so nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
Just subtle. Taking your time, not rushing through it. I believe, yeah.
And also, you can't undermine Dreyfuss's intense look just listening to Quint.
Bang on, Tony. Bang on. Yep. I like this line coming up. Well, black eyes like a doll's eyes. Such a great fucking monologue. He paints such a great picture. It's just brilliant. Herbie Robinson from Cleveland. We got to get him on.
I agree, Darren S. This is definitely his Oscar moment right here.
Oh, 100%. I'm stunned he wasn't nominated. Of course, I'd have to look at who was that year, but 76. Has he said the line, sometimes they don't go away?
Coming up.
Whatever he said, it's coming up. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So great.
Such a great moment when he says, "Anyway, we delivered the bomb."
Yes.
And he toasts like.
Yeah.
Such a great performance.
Unbelievable performance. I love the sound of the whales. That's great.
Yep. Farewell and
Man.
adieu, you ladies of Spain.
Show me the. I used to sing that when I was a kid. Way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. Everybody in the chat room now. I had a little drink about an hour ago.
It's the best sing-along song to sing to.
Come on, everybody in the chat. Wherever I may roam. Roam, land or sea or home.
You can always
hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Boom, boom, boom. Show me the way to go home. Boom, boom, I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago and it got right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or home, you can always hear me sing. And I love how they're interrupted, of course, by, and it's like, shit just got real. It's like, party's over, you know? Great stuff.
He ate the lights. Terrific.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
We'll have to do like one night our top 10 favorite movies of all time, like as a whole, like every genre, because this is in mine for sure.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. There's just no doubt about that.
Well, we get the George Lucas moment. Hey, Steven, I got this idea for this Space Odyssey movie, and I want to try something out in your film. Can I throw some shooting stars in it?
Oh, yeah. What's wrong with this thing? Fuck. I mean,
I think the first one is coming up, right?
Yeah, the shooting star. Yeah,
there's two in this scene. In this moment.
Yep. It's coming up right behind his head here. Right there. One. Yep. And then the next one is.
They got that.
And then the next one is here.
It's amazing that they, I mean, talk about like, could you imagine as a filmmaker and you're looking at this in post-production, you're like, what in the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
was that actually captured there? Because the sky is cloudy a bit. So I thought that would have been added afterwards.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it was added afterwards.
Was it the George Lucas
no
Star Wars?
No, it's always been there, but I think it was added.
I know that.
Yeah. No, I don't think they would have actually captured that. They would have added.
Do you see what I mean now? When you go earlier to when Brody and Hooper are, when they're going to Ben Gardner's boat, you see how calm and flat the water was. Now look at it juxtaposed. Yep. You see what I mean?
Yep, for sure. That's
ocean water. Ocean water is always moving. That's about as calm as ocean water is going to get.
That's true. That is a good point. That is a very good point. Let's see here. Super chat did come in from Josh McGrath. Sends in a super chat and says, "Love the channel, Dave. It's my happy place." Well, thank you very much, Josh. Really appreciate you sending in that super chat, man. Thanks for being here. That's right. Oh, yes. Love it.
I'm going to make a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah. Quint comes.
And see, Quint's Quint like, doesn't.
No, because he wants that money. It's for pride. He doesn't want to quit.
Well, like you said, it's for pride now. He wants to kill this shark.
Yes, yeah, because he doesn't want to quit and be defeated. Are you kidding? He's the shark guy. He's the expert. His ego is getting in the way here. Because in reality, you really should call in for another boat. You know?
When people say that I'm crazy or I'm nuts or I'm clueless, that's usually what I'm thinking inside. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Literally, honestly, folks, when some of you times when you guys troll me sometimes, that's literally what I'm thinking inside.
Oh yeah, I know. Trolls think they matter. Think we care. Love it. Love this perspective down the little plank there. That's such a great shot. Again, right into the shark, a little bit of blood, nice detail. I love when they get the 3 barrels on him.
Oh, yeah.
And Quint's like, not with 3, he can't. Not with 3. And he goes down with 3, and it's like, fine.
Even Quint that line, has this ever happened before? No.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when they're looking at each other like, we're
okay,
fucked.
like this is
not good.
This is crazy. Exactly. Michael Stapp says, timestamp, yes, 1 hour and 40 minutes, 32 seconds.
So we're about 30 seconds off, but that's because I'm watching it. We're at the same spot, but I'm watching it on iTunes. You're watching it on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Five degrees port now. All right, hold your course.
You could even say at one point, from a narrative point of view, that when the shark gets Quint, it almost makes it personal for the shark, too. Because the shark knows Quint's trying to kill it.
Yeah, there's not obviously it's not, it's
not deliberate, it's not, but you could see a subtlety there.
In a symbolic way, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, in a symbolic way. I mean, the shark wouldn't be thinking that. Obviously, the shark wouldn't be thinking anything.
That's why I say from a narrative, it's like the way they're trying to make it come across that the shark is taking it personal to go after Quint.
Yeah, great insight there.
In reality, that would Sharks
no,
don't
that's
take shit personal.
No, not at all. There's no, it's all instinctual. It's got 2 barrels on him now. 2 barrels.
3 now.
You damn son of a bitch.
Oh, it was 2 barrels. I thought it was
like
3.
This. Incredible. I think he says that, right?
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah. That's incredible.
No,
yeah, I love it. I love that the shark guy is going, that's incredible. It's like, oh, fuck. That's so good. And I love that the barrels look used and like he's had them for decades or for at least like 20 years and he's used them on so many sharks and so many adventures. You know, like they're not pristine, clean, yellow barrels. They've been used like thousands of times, hundreds of times, at least thousands, hundreds.
Well, even you look at his boat. His boat looks very dated for the time.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. It's rugged. It's like him. It's like him.
Chip. Yeah, exactly. Everything fits the character.
That's right.
You know, Quint's not out there all looking,
that's it.
Picture perfect with his store-bought fisherman's outfit. He's throwing on whatever he's got in his closet, and that's it.
That's right. Yeah. Great detail on the production design. It's just great. Oh, yeah. This is when, yeah. Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, a little rope burn.
Little rope burn there. Hooper should have fallen into the water there. That might have been interesting.
Well, and again,
he gets out, but it just might have been a moment of
from a narrative storytelling point of view. I like this a lot because it tells you how strong this shark is. What they're doing, that the shark is turning the boat and it's pulling the boat.
And pulls it like that, and then they try to get the thing off, and it's like the water is just coming in and. Oh, yeah, it's great.
Very effective without having to show you the shark.
Yes. Quint's the kind of guy that you feel safe out there with him, but you don't feel safe out there.
At the same time, right. It's like you want him in your corner, but at the same time, you don't want to be out there with him.
Right. Exactly. Yes, he is eating his way right through that line. Look at that. See, now look, I look at that shark out there eating its way, and if I look at it and I really think about it, can I tell it's fake? Sure, okay. But everything has been so strong up to this point. Like I said earlier, everything is so good and so strong and so well developed and so well executed. And there's been so many moments where the shark has looked fantastic that when you get to a point where maybe it looks a little, not its best angle, you don't care because it looks good enough. By this point in the movie, I'm invested. I'm invested by well before this, but certainly by this point, I'm hardcore invested into the movie that even if there's some moments where, it's not its best angle, I totally buy it. I totally believe it. It looks great. It looks fucking great.
And again, I love just the violence of like the water and how much it's pulling this boat. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
100%.
Showing the strength of the shark here.
That's right. The water just bellowing up into the... Oh, it's so great. And all that water that came in now, of course, the boat's in serious trouble now. Or going to be soon. The orca. I love me the orca. It's a fucking orca. Yep. Not with 3 on him, he can't.
David Lee Barron was chat. Am I the only one who heard the shark roar? No, I've heard the shark roar as well.
Yeah, there is a little bit of something that there that they added, which I don't know why they did that. It was completely unnecessary. If there's anything in this movie that you could be like, that probably it would be that. But again,
that and a death that doesn't happen, I think should have happened.
Oh, yeah. So it was just Brody that survived. Yeah, because that would have been he outdid the ocean fish experts. He survived. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. The look on Quint's face here is fantastic. He's dumbfounded.
This has never happened. 3
Never
barrels?
happened. If he thought it was incredible with 2 barrels, now he's just like, what the fuck? No, this is great. Oh, that's so great. He looks so terrified. Even Quint looks terrified now. Oh my God, pulling it like that. It's so great. Man, oh man. Jim Dorsey says fast facts.
There.
Oh
Not
yeah, because they're getting close now. Yeah. Jim Dorsey says fast facts. In the scene, Robert Shaw is shooting a fire hose right at Richard Dreyfuss's face. In this scene, I must have missed I'm not sure what the scene you're talking about, man. Sorry about that, but cool stuff. Movie Juice. Ooh, Movie Juice. I've never seen Movie Juice in here before.
Juice.
Goes hard with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Movie Juice. That's some great movie in that juice. Says, hey guys, I think when Quint sees the 2 life vests was basically him saying, okay, this is how I was going to go, as if he was accepting his destiny at that moment. No, I think that's true because he's the captain of the ship. He's going to go down with the ship.
Well,
and
he also says in the
right.
speech, during the Annapolis speech, he'll never put on a life jacket again.
That's true too. That's a very, very good point. That's a very good point. That's actually more so why.
And I love, again, you're not seeing the shark. You're just seeing the 3 barrels chasing him in.
That's it. And he's heading straight for that land, but he's pushing it too hard. Pushing it too hard.
You know, he's like really fucking like, come on,
and
you
they're looking
son
at
of a
him
bitch.
like, what the fuck is wrong with this
I know.
dude?
Well, it's ego now. It's pride. It's ego. He can't
He's having
lose.
a hard time admitting he can't kill this shark.
That's right. He's gotten the shark's gotten the better of him. Maybe for the first time in his entire life, the shark champion is being brought to its knees. He's being defeated. The shark is Buster Douglas. He's Mike Tyson, and it's just like
Today is just not your day.
It's just it's done.
Maybe on any other day, but not today. Bruce is gonna get the better of you.
Yep. And he just can't take it. Love that, and the barrels just go under. It's just so great, so easily, so effortlessly. Just it's like, fuck, damn. Terrell Sims sends a super chat and says, you should watch Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, we might do that one day. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Tell me, Curtis. Oh, I can't do it. I tried, but I can't. Yeah, there you go. You're the voice guy. I can't do it. Do you still hear the lambs? Is that what he says at the end?
I can't remember.
Do you still hear the lambs?
Or the
lambs still speak or something like that? I can't remember the line now. Fuck.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Long since I've seen it.
Oh, my door is open behind me. My cat must have wandered.
The chat will correct me. I'm confident in that.
You around here, cat? She must have wandered in. Yeah, and then of course just goes to the life vest, and we know that he's never gonna put one on, right? He's never gonna put one on.
Have the lamb stop screaming. That's the line. See, I told you.
I'm the lamb. Stop screaming.
Chief.
Hubba. Yeah, that's right. Good one, Tony. That was pretty good. Hubba. Chief. I ain't wearing one.
I'll never put on a life jacket again.
Nope,
and he's wearing his military jacket again.
Yep.
You know, could you say that that's the connection there?
Yep. I think I can put 3 cc's in.
What was Quint's? Was Quint's his first name or last name?
I don't know.
I can't see the name on his jacket though either. Oh, it says Quint on his jacket.
Quint,
okay.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember. Is that his first name or his last name?
I don't know.
Chat room. Get on it, guys. Bob Quint. Okay, Hans Gruber. Sorry about your fall there, buddy.
Bob Quint. That's his name? Bob Quint? Is that what it says on
I don't know. I don't Look it up. Roy Quint. I got a Roy Quint now from
Roy
Hans
Quint, Bob Quint.
Gruber. He's just gonna throw out
his
names.
His name is Patricia Quint.
Sam Quint. Sam
Patricia
Quinton.
Quint.
No, is it
Sam
really?
Quinton. And this, of course, a lot of this footage was great because a lot of this stuff was shot off the coast of Australia.
Right. They did get a real shark. It was a combination of Bruce and a real shark.
And you can really tell when it's a real shark, and it looks great. Like it's a beautiful great white shark. And I buy it. Again, I believe it. And they used I don't know what the PC term is now, but a small person. A person who was,
I think, like Cosmo, Kramer, and Simo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and they used again. I don't know what the PC technical term is now for somebody who's not very tall, a small person. I'm not sure. Vertically challenged, but they used somebody like that in the real
right,
one. Yeah, right. When they shot that, Hooper looked small, much smaller compared to the shark. And there was also a dummy that was used as well. Yep. Like a small shark cage.
I really wish they went with the book in this. I really, really do. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Still good. They're just letting you know, folks, if you read the book, everything that happens here is extremely different in the book. Right. Very different in the book.
And even Quint's character agreeing to this idea, relinquishing this kind of control over to Hooper would have been an ego hurtful moment for him, for sure. Because now he has to rely on
Jim Dorsey super chat saying Dick Warlock did some of the stunt work in the cage. Is that true?
I believe he did. I believe that is true.
Oh, Tricky Dicky.
Yep. I love this
wrong
scene,
Tricky
the shark
Dicky.
in
That's
the distance.
Nixon, but yeah.
And the theme, bum, 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 bum. I forgot it was used here too. So no, where I said it was one of the last times used.
That's what I was wondering. It's been used a couple times since then.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought that was one of the last times it was used in the movie, but I was mistaken. I love this. Look at the size of him.
Could you imagine being underwater and seeing that? I would shit. I would shit the biggest shit.
Now that's a real shark right there.
That's a real one. Yes, that is
beautiful. Beautiful.
But could you imagine seeing something the size of Bruce if that was legit? I mean, I would literally be like, what
fuck,
the
man.
fuck?
Oh, it'd be intense. It'd be absolutely intense.
I'd just be like, well, that's it. I'm done.
Yep.
Goodbye, folks. That's it for me.
And I love this scene here. Goes in, takes off a little thing. So you just
look at the shark and be like, hey, man, so you know, you're about to get a lot of protein, bro.
Yep. I think he comes up behind him here.
He does.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That's real.
Yep. That's right. Love how that goes off.
That's real.
That's real. Yep. The cage is very small. That's a small cage. It's a big great white shark, but it's not the size of what Bruce was. So they needed to have the cage smaller and a smaller person in there. Yeah, it's great. Oh, my God. Yeah, like everything else is so believable. Like I look at this and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm invested. I buy it.
I'm wondering if this is Dick stabbing Bruce.
Dick stabbing Bruce. Maybe.
You know what I mean? Because there's a moment here where
yes,
Hooper, it's like right here. Hooper
stabbing right there.
Her.
It might
I'm
be.
wondering if that's Warlock.
I don't know. I'm sure there's
kind of that stab seems, kind of Michael Myers-esque. Although visually that just did not look good.
No. But I get what you're saying. Damn, man. Can you imagine? And again, seeing this in 1975, how terrifying this would be to see in the theater. Oh. And then, of course, this shot here is of a real shark and a smaller cage.
And that's just an added bonus. They weren't expecting that.
No, and I think the shark got caught or something.
It did,
and it started to move around like crazy, and they were like, really, get it, roll it. And I believe that's B-roll footage. Like, I don't think Spielberg is on set for this.
No. This is down wherever it was in...
Australia.
Yeah.
Movie magic, folks.
Movie magic. Still a big ass fucking shark.
Still a big ass shark. Yeah. Yeah, Australia, man. Well, I think they just had a couple. I think somebody just died like last week. I heard from a shark attack there. They got
Samuel Ingram. Just so you know, I was trying to avoid spoiling that, but that's actually in the book. That's not the original plan. That was part of the book that Peter Benchley wrote. That the character Hooper does get killed in the book. I was trying not. I thought I could get through the fucking stream without spoiling it, folks. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I don't think anybody's really going to rush off and read it.
Hooper gets it. Hooper gets it fucking good in the book, man.
He
That's
does.
why, like, when you read the book, you're like, damn, I wish they had done that. You know what I mean? That would have been a very powerful scene, man.
Yeah. Now, here's arguably the scene where
I love this with the shark coming out. I love that.
That's great. I love that. The mouth. Oh.
Yeah, that's so great.
Oh, it's great.
Shot in cinema.
It's so great.
Dude, I used to see that shit on commercials all the time. Like when TV shows would run their whatever movies they're playing, that would be the shot they would show from Jaws.
Oh, yeah. Here he goes, the shark expert.
Yep. Quinn.
Oh, my God. This would be terrifying.
Fighting, though. He got that machete. He's going
that
out
shot
like
there.
Oh,
and then the bite down right here. Hang on. It's coming.
Oh.
Oh! And the blood. Oh, you can see the blood on his torso, on his tongue, in his mouth and his tongue. And then it starts. Oh my God, it's so great. This would have been terrifying. Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Again, the way they shot that and dragged it out a little bit, it almost seemed like they were trying to sell it as a narrative that it was personal for the shark to get Quint.
I understand what you're saying.
There's another shot here. It's actually one of my favorite shots.
When he comes through the glass here?
No. That's coming up very shortly. From a picture point of view, I want this painting. Someone has a painting of it. It's Hooper. Brody is on the nest, and the nest is down.
Oh,
slanted,
yeah, and he's got the gun. Yeah, it's great.
All you see is just the fin, the back dorso fin of the shark. I think that's what they call it, right? And then the three barrels. And it's believe it or not, that's the last time you actually see the barrels, because the rest of the cut sequence and even the explosion, barrels somehow disappeared. But the wide shot that you see for about 2 seconds coming up here, I fucking want that shit as a painting hanging up, because it's it's a great framed photograph. See, you don't see the barrels. You see the shark, but you don't see the barrels.
Yeah, well, because they're not attached to him anymore, I don't think.
Except coming up here shortly when he's on the crow's nest, you see it one more time, and I don't get why they didn't keep it in. Yeah, like I said, for a split
continuity error then, if that's true.
It is a continuity error.
Yeah.
But it pays off because visually it looks fucking great.
Right. Let me know here. It must be coming up in a second.
Well, the shark pops up. He stabs him with the little poker thing, and then Bruce takes it out of his hand.
Okay. That's a cool shot, too. That's a big, mean shark. Love that. The poking, the stabbing. And I love, again, the detail of the blood coming out as well, because it would.
Yep.
The shark takes down the...
Watch closely here.
Okay.
Not this.
No.
The next shot that's coming up. Nope, I'm sorry. It's not there. It's the next one after. There it is. You see the barrels?
Oh, I do.
But I love the framing of that. That looks visually as a painting. Looks great.
I see the barrels, but I don't think the barrels are attached to the shark. I think they're just kind of in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're just in the background.
Okay.
I don't think he is. I think they're just sort of floating there in the background. Yeah, but a great shot. You're absolutely right. Here it comes. Smile, you son of a bitch.
Dave, I think you were right. I think the barrels are not on the shark. I think it was just there. I always thought that he was pulling on them.
Yeah,
which I thought was a great creative visual shot.
Totally understand why you'd think that.
Well, Bruce is dead.
And this, of course, as we all know, this scene here with Bruce falling to his demise underwater was very much inspired from Spielberg's Duel as well. With the truck. That's one we got to watch, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck, we got to watch Duel. Love that movie. One of my favorites.
Do you know what's funny, dude? I swear to God, I watched this not too long ago, probably like around in May. And I watched Jaws 2 over the weekend. But in May, when I watched it for the, I watched the ending credits for the first time all the way through, and I never knew that they stay with the actors and they get off
the entire thing.
Yeah, and they get off the raft and onto the beach. I never knew that because I never stayed with it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
yeah,
like turn it off about halfway through, like, okay, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
no, they do.
I never knew that till just
they
recently.
never. It's true. Yeah, they never cut to black. They just they follow them, and then at the very end, when it's done, they're actually at the shore.
Off of it or on the shore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that you think it's Dreyfuss and him, or do you think it's two other people? Because it's a wide shot. You could literally have anyone.
It's probably two other people. My guess, because it's I would think maybe not.
But I will say the ending shot of the title sequence is such a beautifully framed shot.
It's beautiful.
It's picturesque. You couldn't get any better. That is what the beach of our shorelines in New England look like.
And I love the detail here of all the seagulls eating the shark. Like that's what they're there.
Which would be the case if you lived in New England and New England shoreline. Seagulls are sons of bitches, man. You gotta keep your food hidden because those fuckers will come down and eat up everything you got.
But I love that.
Yeah, this shot right here, man. It's
it's
so
gorgeous.
Beautiful. The lighthouse in the background.
Yeah.
The nice leading line of the beach curve.
Yeah.
The nice 50%, meaning you get half ocean, half land. A great foreground.
It is. It's a great shot.
Beautifully framed. But yeah, I didn't know it's so bad of me.
Oh yeah.
I never watched. I don't know why I never watched it to the end, but I didn't realize that you see them get off and onto the land.
That, folks, is Jaws from 1975. Man, oh man. That is it. Amazing stuff indeed.
Live shark footage filmed by Ron and Valerie Taylor.
Yep.
Filmed in Panavision.
Technicolored.
Don't see that shit anymore.
No. Quint. His name is
just Quint.
Just Quint. All right. My name.
So that's the
they just have Vaughn there too. His last name is Vaughn. His first name is Larry. Michael Brody. Great stuff indeed, folks. Great stuff indeed. That was amazing, folks. Happy belated 4th of July. Tony and I finally watched Jaws. Let's move over to the chat room and see what you fine folks are doing for a little bit. We have a little bit here. See what you guys are doing. Movie Juice comes in with a $5 super chat and says there's some foreshadowing during the Indianapolis monologue too, when Quint's describing the crew member getting bitten in half and gets it in the same. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yep. Very good.
Is this 45th anniversary this year?
It's the 45th anniversary. Hard to believe. I know. Hard to believe. 45 years. All right, let's see what's going on. What are you guys talking about here? What's shaking? Gary Rangel says, do you think having a horror film being more than 2 hours long can make it good? For sure. Sure. Yeah. It's all
a good story. Like The Exorcist, I think, is over 2 hours, right?
Oh yeah. Yep, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Let me see.
DMT Infinity at Dave McRae at Tony Michael Photo. Did either of you get to experience Jaws ride in Florida before they took it down? It was so much fun to experience. I did not, unfortunately. How was it?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. I wish they would still. I wish that was still up. I think the ET ride is still there. But yeah, I wish very much that the like Jaws, Confrontation, Earthquake, all those good old rides from the late 80s, early 90s.
Every time I think about that, I've never experienced it, but what I think...
Oh, wait.
Mallrats.
And wait, there you go.
When it talks about the Jaws ride at Universal, I always think of Mallrats. And when TS tells Brody how he was going to propose to Brandy at Universal Studio on the Jaws ride, and Jason Lee looks at him and is like, that's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
That's funny. Yeah, a lot of people want to do that.
You ever seen?
Oh, yeah, I love Mallrats. 1995. Love it. Terrell Sims says, yeah, we need to do that. Terrell Sims sends a super chat. Thanks, man. Says, I want to know what Tony thinks of the IMDb teaser. IMDb teaser?
Oh, it's
Oh,
me,
it's
Billy.
me, Billy teaser. Oh,
Phenomenal, man.
First thing I thought was Men in Black, but that's MIB.
No, trailer, dude. It's fucking phenomenal. I mean, if you guys
Oh
haven't
yeah, I
seen
never
it,
knew.
like,
That's right.
yeah, no, I mean, everything was well done, well executed, very simple. I loved the. I don't know if it's a foreshadowing because I've actually asked Dave not to tell me because I really want to come at this like as a fan and not be spoiled. So I don't know. It's not like we have conversations about this off screen, but I like
true.
whatever foreshadowing you did there with the picture of the three girls and then the crack. Like, oh, yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? Like you could read so much into it. Like, does it mean that girl? Does it mean which girl does it mean? Does it, you know what I mean? Like, I love that. And the way you executed the boom, the piano, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys went to someone's studio and got that footage, or is that part of Black Christmas footage?
No, that's all done. That's all done here in my home studio.
So
Everything was created.
That's fucking deep. And then, of course, I gotta believe that was you doing the vocals of Billy.
It was
right?
me.
Yeah.
It was me.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was spot on.
Yeah, the opening, because Billy would be at the very least in his late 60s, and he's probably like between 68 and 72, somewhere in there, probably, right? If he was like 22 or 3 in 1974. So
my favorite shot, though, I don't know if you did this, if this was you, was the slider shot of the door entryway, and then like how you. I love shots like that. So basically, it sort of happened in Jaws. If you remember in Jaws here tonight, when the Brody's sitting on the beach and people walk by and it's a swipe and it gets closer and closer. You sort of did that effect with something came in the way, and then all of a sudden you saw the guy coming through the door, but he's silhouetted. That I thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah, so Bruce and I. We took turns shooting a couple of the shots. The doorway shot that you're talking about, I shot that. And the shot of the girls in the picture frame, which is the final shot, we shot that. I think we shot it about 12 it was like maybe 16 or 17 times because we had to get the right motion, right?
Sure.
And we're on a dolly, so we had to get the right motion at the right time. Now, you know, if they do have electric ones where you can hit the thing and it just moves on its own. It keeps the same the same pace, same whatnot, all that kind of stuff. But we didn't do that. So we just got a manual one. So we had to make sure that we were moving at a, if it's not perfect, it's at least really good. You know what I mean? And we're moving. And I think it looks pretty good. So I shot that a bunch of times, and Bruce did. For the shot of the girls in the frame, the final shot with the phone, we actually ended up going with the final take we ever did, and it was Bruce that actually shot that one. He had a bit of a better, more of a steady hand, I guess, at the moment that we needed it. So that was Bruce. But the one you're talking about was me. And the picture frame with the cracking, all practical. That was done in camera, actually. Yeah, we had two frames. We had markers of where the picture was, and we had a frame ready to be inserted that was smashed. So the frame is there. We hold on it. We hold on it for about 10 seconds or so. I say, Bruce says to me, okay, go. I walk into the shot. I take the frame out, I put the other frame back, but because they're marked underneath, which you can't see, I'm able to line it up in the exact same position so that when you cut the two shots together, it looks great. Like it looks like the frame actually cracks. So that was all done. That was all practical, and it was a lot of fun to do. Obviously there is foreshadowing to it for
can't
sure,
undermine
naturally.
Because I do this like literally all the time for a living. The slider shot, I have a manual slider, but I also have an electric slider, and I use an electric slider now because it's a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
So the fact that you did that with a manual slider, like folks, like legit, manual sliders are not as easy to do. I mean, it takes, especially like, okay, I'm not saying Dave's not capable of doing it when I say this, so don't take what I'm saying out of context.
What?
Because you don't do this.
I'm offended. I'm offended.
because you don't do this on the regular, like I do on the regular on a weekly basis.
That's right.
That's really fucking good that you did that shit with a manual slider. I would have guessed. I would have guessed. Honestly, I guess I was thinking it was an electric slider, and I was going to ask you which one you guys used because I have two of them. Yeah. And the fact that you did it with a manual, that's fucking good shit.
I appreciate that. Thank that means a lot.
Someone, of course, is going to say I just dissed you, but whatever.
Sorry.
Someone's probably going to say I just ditched your filmmaking.
No, not at all, man. No, it means a lot to me. I mean, I have a great, respect for, and camera operators too. I mean, like, again, now they'd be using the electric ones, but back in the day to try and get those nice, smooth shots. And it was a lot of fun to do. We had a lot of fun doing it. And we wanted to create something. Again, there's no footage from the movie in there, obviously, because we haven't shot the movie yet, but we wanted to create something that set the tone for what we want to do. We wanted to create something that says, this is what we want to do. And, this is the tone, the mood, the atmosphere. Now imagine this on a $60,000 budget. You know what I mean? And with a cast and with, a location that will, I can't say too much right now, but that will knock your socks off. And all these kinds of things where it's and a professional crew. Like I said, like we've hired a professional DP who is, at the top of his game, working at the professional level. So, and we're going to be doing that, with other people as well. So we just wanted to set a tone. And I think so far, and I'm not saying everybody's liked it, but I think most of the feedback we've received has been great. Like everybody really liked it. So
bro, you got
really
Bloody Disgusting writing about you guys. I mean, shit. I follow Bloody Disgusting on Instagram and I don't see them talking about fan films that often. I'm just, so the fact that they're throwing you guys a huge shout out like that, that's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Well, it's great because as I said to you before the show started, I naturally, when you're producing something of this level, you have you have something to be able to back up something that would be worthy of talking about, but you still have to put out a press release. So,
yes.
Bloody Disgusting was one of the, I mean, they're the sort of the big one in the horror space. And, they've been around for years. And I wanted to send them a press release, but I couldn't quite figure out which email to send to on their contact page. And I didn't want to seem spammy or, I didn't want to seem like a dime a dozen when I was sending this thing, because I do feel we have something special here, that has a lot of potential. So I sent the press release to others first, and then I was going to reach out to Bloody Disgusting this week and just kind of inquire about where I would send it to. And they picked up the story anyway. So I didn't even send the press release to them. Obviously, the buzz that it was generating in the horror community, they saw, and they decided to write about it. So if anybody from Bloody Disgusting is watching, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for doing that, because you didn't have to do it, right? So really, really appreciate that. But yeah, Billy is me in the teaser, even at the beginning. That's me as well, because we knew he needed to be older, and I wanted to sing the nursery rhyme that he sings from the actual film. But he needed to be older.
Are you taking notes?
But he needed to be older. So what I did is I went into my booth, and there is a bit of a pitch adjustment, but it needed to sound believable, like it was somebody who was older. So I went into my booth and I wanted to lay the foundation. So I went and I just sort of began with little baby bunting.
But dude, that shit right there in your trailer was more scarier than the bullshit remake they did in 2006, whatever it was.
A lot of people have said that.
You know what I mean? And I never saw the
chair.
I never saw the all sorority one here.
Yeah.
No, so I couldn't tell you. But the remake, your trailer was better than the fucking remake.
Yeah, some people have said that. And there's nothing in
it's
a nice compliment.
You know what I mean?
It's because we worked very hard.
You created this disturbing, and I'm a fan of that. You know that. I love just like disturbing shit like Clockwork and Last House and shit like that. So when I'm listening to that, I'm like, this is fucking creepy shit.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, it's
You know
Billy.
what I mean?
It's Billy in his late 60s, right? And so I needed to, and I thought that was the perfect thing to bring it back to Billy. We hear him first, and it's all about setting that tone. So when I was done, Daddy's gone a hunting, doing that, like I was just in there. I doing, I can't, but I did a bunch of takes of that, and then in post played around with the pitch just a little bit, just a slight pitch adjustment to make me sound a little thicker, a little older. And
do you
it worked.
do you ever fuck with your girl with that voice? Is that just creepy,
No.
It's creepy, dude.
Hey, what's going on? Little baby bunting, Daddy's gonna hunt.
She probably looks at you, Dave. No.
Yeah, that's right. And then of course at the end is me too. What are you doing? It's all that stuff. See, whether I'll do Billy for the actual movie yet, I don't know, but I'm prepping for it.
It cannot be stressed enough. Like, yeah, okay, you're seeing Dave visually do the vocals right now, but when you juxtapose that into a movie, the eeriness of that creates, like a lot of you young folks, y'all are in for a fucking treat if Dave's able to pull this shit off on like what it is, what horror movie storytelling should be like, and not what you are getting in this garbage that they're handing out to you guys consistently in this modern day of horror films, because they don't rely on not all, like I said, The Conjuring, Hereditary, and there's some great The Ring we just watched here recently. There have been great films over the last 20 years, but not consistent, not the shit that we were doing like back in the day when you can list off movies like Black Christmas, Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, you can't do that today. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
for sure. I like Frank's. Sorry, I was just gonna say I like Frank's. Sounded like Bill Clinton. Can you imagine? Little baby bunting, Daddy's gonna hunting.
Yeah, that would be something that Billy would say.
That'd be so great. Frank, you make me smile.
His name is Bill Clinton. Hey, I don't know.
It could be, but that's what it was all about: setting a tone. We have little subtle clues in there that sort of are clues to the overall story, but we wanted to make we wanted to deliver something that made that there was no question. Billy's back. Billy's back. This is what you're going to get. And the detail of, again, one of the most haunting things about the original, and you've said it, 1,000 times too, is the score beyond Silent Night and whatever is really just the piano scrapes.
That's it.
And so we built our own for the teaser again. And the first thing you hear when we cut in and we see that candle is boom. And it's like, instantly, and actually the first thing you hear in the entire thing is just the movement of a chair and then the rocking chair. Like there's just this is it. We're back. We've come back to here.
Track.
Yeah. And that's sort of how we were approaching it. And even though it's not an official film, it's a short film. Certainly we are taking it very seriously. And, we are going to, if we can raise the production budget, we're going to deliver a professionally produced, high caliber, professionally shot movie. That will
Jason Blum is about to get schooled by an independent filmmaker who's a voiceover actor with 20,000 followers on YouTube. That's what's about to happen.
Hey,
Blum's about to get a lesson in filmmaking.
I have no issues with Blum. There's no
issues, but this is proper filmmaking, dude. You need to fucking you can't minimize what you did just in that teaser trailer. Like I can't stress it enough to people. Yeah, like
it's a good start.
If Blumhouse would open his eyes and see what good storytelling is in a horror film, he'd be cranking out a lot better shit than the shit that he's been cranking out.
I think when it comes to Black Christmas, I just think there was a missed opportunity. And I think that I think Blum felt the pressure. And again, I don't want to speak for him. This is just my opinion. I think it's just an interesting set of coincidences that about 6 months before, I don't know if it's exactly 6 months, but months before the announcement of a female written and directed remake of Black Christmas, which in and of itself is totally fine. I think that's cool. Blum was in some sort of hot water about a comment he made about how there's not a lot of female horror directors and blah, 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 which is true. That is a fact. But when you read his comment, I didn't think there was anything wrong with what he said, but he got backlash. He had to apologize. And then several months later, all of a sudden, there's a female written and directed Black Christmas movie. It just felt, I just think maybe they rushed things, and they made a story that they could have called anything. There's nothing
else.
But there's nothing. I just watched it again. There's nothing in that movie other than a sorority house and the fact that it's Christmas time and a couple little nods that has anything. The mythology's gone. There's no Billy. There's no Agnes. There's no creepy phone calls. There's one little like text or something, or there's breathing, but there's nothing. And I really think they did themselves a disservice. If they wanted to have a movie that made a political statement, look, I'm okay with that. And what I mean by okay with that is I feel that it's your right to be able to do that. That's totally cool. But when you call it Black Christmas, I think they shot themselves in the foot, because I think people went in expecting something that never materialized. It never happened. And I think it was done purely for political reasons. And that's unfortunate, because you're doing yourself a disservice. Call the movie Slay Girls, or even just Silent Night, and you may have done better, because people then don't have an expectation. Yep. And I think with our little short unofficial sequel, I think we've written something that is a really good foundation for something. And
while I agree with you, what you
me.
said about, it is your right to put political things in movies if you want. It is, but it's also our right to whether or not we choose to want to buy it and see it and support it. And for that reason alone, I didn't, because I don't go to movies to watch politics. I don't watch politics to begin with. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the shit in my movie. So if that happens, I don't buy it.
It makes me sad as a Canadian, Black Christmas, of course, a Canadian movie, one of the most famous. It makes me sad that they appear to ride the coattails of the IP, the name, and put out a movie that has nothing to do with it. I mean, it would be like calling Hereditary, which is a good movie, but you'll understand the point of what I'm trying to make. It'd be like calling Hereditary A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just like, what is this? Like, it has nothing to do. And and then you go, you know what? There might actually be a pretty good movie here, but you've shot yourself in the foot, because people expect something else. Yeah. And then people get so lost in the idea of where's Billy, where's Agnes, where are the phone calls, what's going on, what's happening? Oh, it's this political thing. Oh, what's going on? Just call it Slay Girls. Perfect. So anyway, but hey, if we get a chance to make it, and of course it's not, for profit, we can't make any money off of it, of course, but if we get a chance to make it and show all you guys, and Blum wants to talk,
and you might open up yourself a door in the biz. Dude, that's why I'm doing my Friday the 13th fan film too. It's like, hey man, there's talented people out here. We know our shit, and we've seen enough bullshit in this genre that's been ruined, and it's taken people like you, me, and fucking homie there that did Never Hike Alone, and fucking the dude with Dylan's New Nightmare. Is taking people like us to say, hey guys, we need to set this shit back on track and take it back. You know what I mean? Because the shit they're producing sucks.
Yeah, I've spent nearly 20 years in the entertainment industry as a professional voice actor, and I've had great success at that, and I've got to meet a lot of people, and I got to go to Warner Brothers, and I was nominated for awards, and it's been great. But there is a fire in me that has always been a filmmaker as well. I mean, that was initially why I went to film school, was to make movies.
That's it.
And then I left because I got discouraged, and then I became and I'm a very theatrical guy, in case people haven't noticed, and I love performing and acting and things like that, so I got into acting, and then I got into voice acting, but I really want to, at 41 years old now, there are guys that are 10 years, 15, 20 years, maybe not 20, but certainly 10 years younger than me, who are making major Hollywood films. So I was like, I really want to I want to do something, it's time I do something at this level. And what I mean by that is a professionally produced and made film, where you look at it and the production value is anything you'd see in a theater or on, Amazon or something like that. Like, we're taking it that seriously. But I wanted my first venture into that territory on the filmmaking side to be something that I was comfortable with, that I knew, and that I felt comfortable. And I didn't want to do Halloween because, it's Halloween, it's saturated. I wanted to do something unique. And the angle of Black Christmas was really cool because I'm a Canadian from Toronto. Bruce is Canadian in Toronto. Black Christmas, Canadian. Oh my God, this is perfect. And there's never been a sequel. And there doesn't need to be one. But I think this is kind of cool. So anyway, don't want to go on and on, but that's why. And I feel comfortable with using this as a great pitch, as a great portfolio piece. If it ends up being half as good as what we think we've got here in our script. And again, it's a short film. So it's not going to be like, 90 minutes long. But if we can do what we do in this short film, there may be room for more because we think we have a strong foundation. So it's really cool.
And I think this is I think, again, this is going to be the wave of the future of movie making, is you're going to have fans who are very well knowledge and understand the continuity and understand what fans are wanting from a Friday, Halloween, Black Christmas type movie. That I think you're going to see more and more of this. And we're fortunate enough that we're in a time where you and I have the resources, because in the 80s, you and I couldn't do shit like this because we didn't have the resources. No. You know what I mean? But so we're fortunate enough to be.
Couldn't do it in the 90s.
And so as much as we like to say it would be great to go back to the 80s and 90s and live that, sure. I mean, it would be great, but we wouldn't have the accessibility to be able to do this and create this shit. I mean, did you ever imagine at 17 years old, one day you'd be making a Black Christmas sequel movie for a fucking platform that everybody around the world could see for free?
No, not at all.
I never thought that shit.
I never thought that I would be cast as Freddy Krueger opposite Miko Hughes in a unofficial sequel to New Nightmare.
So it's so cool that
I never thought I'd be at Warner Brothers accepting or being nominated. No, it's crazy. It's insane.
You got some super chats. I don't want you to miss them.
Oh, do I have some super chats?
Yeah, you had a few come in.
But you're right though, man. You're right. And you're
we had a lot come in.
You're bang on with your assessment. Tony, you're on fire tonight, by the way. There's a lot of things you've said tonight where I'm like, yes, exactly.
Okay, so David Lee Barron
yes,
is the top one, and then goes down from there.
Are you roller coaster enthusiasts? I'm going to say no. I'm not a roller coaster enthusiast, but I don't mind a roller coaster every now and then. What about you, Tony?
I'm kind of OG when it comes to the coasters. I don't really do much of the modern coasters, but I love, like back in the day where I'm from in New England, we had a little park called Riverside Park. Anyone from up there knows it. We had a coaster called the Cyclone, old school, big wooden roller coaster. Very similar to what you would see in National Lampoon's Vacation there, that type of, not double-sided wooden coaster, single side. And they had one coaster there that was a metal coaster, was a loop. This is before they were bought out and became Six Flags, and then added all those Superman rides and modern roller coasters.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I'm old school. I like things very simple, fun. I don't need to go through 15 corkscrews and loops and shit. You know what I mean?
Up here at Canada's Wonderland, which is like a Six Flags. Yeah. And it's been here for years. They have all sorts of the big, I think there's one called like Behemoth and then Leviathan, the big tall. I think Canada's Wonderland actually might have North America's tallest roller coaster, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, but they also still have the old wooden ones when Canada's Wonderland first opened. And there's one called the Mind Buster. And there's no loops or anything. It's just up. And you're in like this wooden car and you're going around like this and you can feel it. You know what I mean? It ain't smooth, man. You walk off that going, oh, I got a headache. Yeah. Those are cool.
Frank Riker, dude, you know what? I am a survivor of Accident or Action Park. It was a place in New Jersey. Dude, there were literally deaths every year, okay? Because this park was practically unsupervised, had some of the most ridiculous rides that you would get hurt on, an alpine slide that I walked away with so many freaking bruises, but yeah, I survived. If anyone remembers Action Park, New Jersey, Johnny Knoxville did a movie loosely based, but nowhere near what Action Park was really like. If someone really wanted to do a movie like Action Park, that would be a good movie because, dude, somebody was getting bones broken every day there. Someone was dying every summer. It was just fucking nuts.
That's funny. Let me see. Intel Wild sends a super chat and says 11,453 US right now, Dave.
Yep.
Oh, on the thing. Let's check. Let me go to my see what it says in Canadian here. I haven't been paying attention to it while we've been watching the movie. So, what are we up to? 15,517 Canadian.
Nice.
Pretty good.
So it equates
25%.
to 11 in US.
So 15,517 Canadian is about, whatever, 11 and a half there, thousand US. So we're looking to raise 60,000 Canadian, which is about 45,000 US, because obviously our dollar is only worth about 74 cents to your dollar. So the dollar goes a bit further up here, which is why sometimes it's cheaper to make movies up here. But that's pretty cool. I mean, that's 3 days. In 3 days, not even, because it'll be 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Wait, Saturday to Sunday is one to Monday. It'll be 3 days tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So 2.5 days, 25% of our production budget. And like I've said, I mean, that's going to slow down. I mean, this, it's not going to be like this pace all the time. But 25%, 3 days, 2.5 days, that's wild. That's wild. 58 days left. You think we can hit 60? You guys think we can hit 60? What the hell does the chat room think? You think we can hit 60,000 Canadian with 58 days left to go, 75% left to go? I hope so, man. I hope so. Oh my God. It'd be so wonderful. Super chat. Let's see here. Super chat from, you're right, a bunch of them did come in. Justin Summerson says, you ever notice in Halloween 78 when Marion says, what's me is their gibberish, and they start raving on and on, reflects the opening Halloween 2018. Could Weird Science be an option for an episode? Halloween. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's a nice thing I've never thought about. Good catch, Justin.
Good catch.
And could Weird Science be an option for an episode? Maybe. I like Weird Science, but it wasn't one that I loved in the 80s.
It wasn't. I have it in my collection of 80 films, but it's not one that I watch often.
Yes, exactly. I
like
have it on
Breakfast
VHS.
Club or St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles. Actually, I like 16
yeah.
Candles. But
16 is good.
Yeah. Intel Wild sends a super chat again, says, Dave, I love the teaser trailer. Practically perfect. One shot I think could have been better. If you want to know, I'll say it. Sure, say it. Say whatever you want. It's how you feel. CM sends in a super chat and says, Dave, the teaser was so well done because you clearly love the original source material. That's something the big studios sorely lack. Because I'm not making any money off of this. And I have no studio executive telling me what to do. So I'm really just doing this
always a big,
for the passion of the fans.
Plus.
Exactly. Blood Red Sky says, any perks to get an autograph from you and Bruce? Well, there's still some perks coming. Maybe you never know.
Yes,
We've still some perks coming. And Tony and I somebody took a Todd Fair, who is a viewer of our shows and my channel. Todd Fair, I think it was Todd. He picked the Two Dudes perk that's there.
Really?
So he did.
Todd Fair's coming on the show.
Todd Fair is going to be coming on the show in the future. So that's
super cool.
Pretty cool. I think there's 5 available. I think there's five available, and Todd took one. So
Nice.
If you guys want to come on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit and be a guest like we are, so on the show you'll see me and Tony, and then they'll see you, and you pick the movie that we'll watch. It can't be a movie that we've already watched, but you get to pick the movie.
Like Halloween 1978.
Exactly. Or like Jaws. And you come on and we watch the movie together. So for that episode, instead of 2 dudes and some bullshit, it's 3 dudes and some bullshit. And you also get, I forget what here, let me just see here. You also get on top of that, you also get me scroll down because it's not just
I'm going to fly up to Canada and take some sexy pictures of Dave laying in front of a fire for you guys.
That's right. Exactly.
Wearing only the Michael Myers mask while he's doing this.
That'd be funny. With that, you also get a special thanks in the end credits of the movie. You get the digital download package. So that means you'll get the movie in full HD as a digital download when the movie, of course, is done. You'll also get a high resolution image of the poster and a digital copy of the script as well. And you'll also get the movie on Blu-ray. Nice. So that's part of the Two Dudes and Some Bullshit package. Now, the Two Dudes and Some Bullshit package is one of the premier perks, so it's a bit, higher end. So it's not, cheap, but it's certainly doable, I think, for somebody who is excited about that at the very least. But one person picked it. Yeah, so there's 4 left. So there's 4 left. So pretty cool. And I can't believe, I am so honored that 4 out of 7 people have already picked the associate producer package.
Nice.
That's just unbelievable. I am, because they're not cheap, and I'm now you get a lot with them, but I am, because with the associate producer package here, it's 1,500 Canadian. That would be about 1,100 US, and you get.
That's not a little drop. That's a big drop. It's
not a little drop, but you get an associate producer credit in the movie. You get an associate producer credit on IMDb. You get the special thanks in the end credits. You get the digital download package. You get the Blu-ray. You get concept art. You get to be a guest on McRae Live. You get to come on McRae Live and be a guest, talk Halloween and movies. You get a signed official poster, 24 by 36 from cast and crew. You get a T-shirt as well. So you get lots of good stuff in there as well. But 4 people already. I am just humbled and so speechless by the love and support so far for this movie. It's just been unbelievable. And really, really cool stuff. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something to you. Now I forget. It's because I was looking at the super chats here.
Yeah, you got a couple more.
I do. CM sends another super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Says, I already read that. Yeah.
You're up to Chris Baber sending a thumbs up super chat.
Thank you, Chris Baber. Awesome, buddy. Really appreciate that. And then Southpaw, I guess, is the last one here, which is Southpaw 82 says, I heard Rob Zombie in talks to remake Jaws.
I don't think he would touch that. I really don't. I think there's certain films that he just knows it's out of his wheelhouse. Yeah. I did hear him though talk recently, because I finally was able to watch all of it. It was an old interview he did with Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan's podcast show, but he talked about doing he would like to do a story on the Broad Street Bullies, the Flyers. From the 70s. If you don't know anything about that story, dude, you should look it up in the documentary. Like, these fuckers, man, these were some rough hockey players, okay, that became beloved. First were hated by the city and then became beloved when they won the Stanley Cup and shit. But the whole story around it and listening to him talk about it, I'm like, dude, do that shit, man. That's kind of a movie where it's like you can now separate yourself from being this hick horror director into something really fucking good, because the way he was talking about it, I could actually see him doing it and doing it justice. If you haven't seen it, Dave, because I know you're a fan of hockey, and I'm slowly getting back to that now with my options in sports these days.
Yeah.
You would appreciate that very much as a hockey fan. I think you really would. Broad Street Bullies, Flyers, highly recommend checking out.
That was the Flyers heyday.
Yeah.
And they were the Broad Street Bullies for sure. Camden Knott says, Dave, is there an age requirement to come on the show if you get the Two Dudes or McRae Live package? That's a great question. I got to admit,
18, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I have to admit that I've actually never really thought about that. That's a great question. And I think the reason why I haven't is because according to my analytics, the vast majority of people who watch me are older than that. So I guess it never really dawned on me, but that's a really good question.
I would feel weird talking to a minor.
Yeah, I would say that it would probably be good that they're over the age of 18. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. I should have. Yeah, I never really thought about that. That's a and I can't go back and edit the perk. No, that's one thing you can't. No, you can't. Once it's posted, you can't go back and edit the perk, which is, I get it. But it's something that I'll cross the bridge when it comes. the probability of somebody picking that perk who's like 13 is highly unlikely. But it's a great question. But I would say, just to feel comfortable because of the language that we tend to have on the show, I think 18 is probably important. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Let me see. What kid has $1,200? Well,
right?
That's for the 2 dudes perk. The 2 dudes perk is $750 Canadian, but that's about 500 something US. So no, that's not 1,200. So just pretend you're buying a Michael Myers mask. There you go.
There you go.
Justin Simonson sends a super chat. Thank you. I wrote the super chat quick bad for my misspellings. Can't wait for It's Me, Billy, most anticipated fan film. Are you posting it to YouTube? It will eventually. Yeah. Yep. It'll be on YouTube for free for everybody to watch. Nick sends a super chat. Says, Dave, does the same idea that came to you for the BX
Black Christmas.
Right. Black Christmas sequel still exist on your IMDb finalized script, or did a far better idea come later? The general idea is still the same. The foundation is still there, but thanks to COVID-19, we've had a lot of time to develop the script further. And as a matter of fact, before I came on the show here, I was having a meeting with Bruce on the phone, and we were talking about script changes that we were making to improve the script and to make it tighter and flow. And because we just saw our main location, I can't tell you what that is, but we just saw our main location for shooting last week, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And so when you see things like that, there are certain adjustments you'll end up making to, the script. And then there's dialogue changes and intent changes in terms of what, the character might mean, or character motivations. Certain things have been switched. So yeah, I mean, things do change, and there's no doubt they will probably continue to sort of evolve a little bit. But the general idea of, A to B to C is still the same. Although when we do the director's commentary, because you'll hear some stories about a lot of things that we wanted to do that never came to be. So
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. We'll go to, I don't know, let's take this thing for another 5 minutes or so, because that'll take us right to 10 o'clock, and we've been on for, that'll be almost 3 hours. So, let me see. Zach Axiola says, Dave, can you do Quint's Indianapolis speech in Trump's voice? I don't Jesus. I can't, the whole speech? No, I can't. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a line from it.
I don't even know.
I can't even think of a line from it.
I can quote so many lines from Jaws.
Yes.
Not many lines I can quote from the speech.
It's because you're so enamored with everything.
True.
And it's hard to, no, I can't even think of that. I'll try though. I'll try. I'll try sometime. Jim Dorsey says, hi, Dave. I will definitely be contributing to It's Me, Billy by the end of this month, my friend. Awesome, Jim. Great stuff. Great to hear. The girl's ass at the beginning of the shower scene will hit $59,999. I don't know. I have no idea. Aaron Click says, Dave, will there be a Billy commentary on the It's Me, Billy Blu-ray? Yes, there will be. There'll be a director's commentary. Yeah.
There you go.
There'll be behind the scenes stuff too. Naturally, there always is when you're shooting a movie. It's so much behind the scenes footage. And I'll even do, I might post video of me saying hi from the set and things like that, or whatever, from time to time. Not every day, obviously, but
Yeah, for those things, man, for a lot of that stuff, that's where if you had the budget, you bring on a secondary, a documentary type crew to film all that for you guys.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, because we've even said to our cast, when we are setting up a shot, or when we're working with Greg, our DP, and we have our, grips and everybody, and we're setting up the lights and shot, if the actors are just kind of chilling, waiting, because most of the time that's what actors do, is just wait. We've said to them, take your phones and shoot stuff, take photos, shoot stuff and all that kind of stuff, because and then we can upload everything to a drive. And when I'm not doing something, or there's some, downtime, whatever, I'll take my phone and shoot stuff, and everybody will be shooting stuff. So there'll be all this footage and all these things that we'll have. And
just,
but Tony's right. If we had the budget, we would hire a documentary crew to come in and do that.
I know this seems stupid to say, but I'm telling you, because you will forget, and it's a habit people have. Make a note I'm telling you, dude, make a note for yourself and write it on your hand, because you'll forget, because you're doing a million things on your production. If they are doing that, don't the habit for people to shoot is like this. Tell them
Oh,
to
yes.
shoot like
Yep,
this.
100%. Oh, I
It's
don't
just-
forget, but you're right. People will do that.
People will do. It's just habit.
Yeah,
It's just
of course.
if you're not a filmmaker, and I get it.
You're bang on.
But for you to use usable footage, you want them to be shooting it for you like this.
100%. That is correct. Yeah. Fuck vertical video. Hashtag cancel vertical. Hey, you know what? If you're going to cancel anything in this world, cancel vertical video. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Blood Red Sky says, if you hit 35,000 US overall, would it be greenlit?
Ooh, you're border. You're
how
there.
much
You're
is that?
close. You're about 10 off,
USD,
just under. Oh no! If it's US, that means that's got you got to be close. You're at 40.
47,000. Oh, so 13,000 off. I mean, definitely yes. I mean, something will be done. I think if we were to hit 35,000 US, but there would have to be at that moment there would have to be talk of things that we'd have to adjust. You see, what you have to understand, folks, too, is that the more money we can make, the better. And that's why obviously there is a stretch goal as well. And you know, if we're able to raise 60,000, but maybe we raise 70,000 Canadian, that is always better because we can rent, you know, bigger lights. We can rent maybe like an 18K. We can rent, you know, a bigger generator. We can rent, you know, we can hire a couple more crew members. You know, we can set up like it always, it never is a bad thing. It will only improve the production value. That doesn't mean that we've set ourselves short. No, we've made it this goal to what we need to achieve it. But certainly if we're able to read, you know, more, that means deeper post-production. That means more shooting days. That means renting, and hiring more people and gear, which will only, help the workflow. Yep. So, 35,000 US, we'll have to make some adjustments. You know, we have to cut something.
If you're at 35,000, you're coming short on that 13,000, dude. If I have to go Tom Cruise risky business and open up a house down here and, you know, do what I
put
gotta
a lien
do.
on the house.
I
Take
gotta
another
do,
mortgage
no.
up.
I'm just gonna get some high quality end girls and you know.
Oh, I see.
Risky business, baby. Throw on the shades.
That's what it's all about. That's what. Dun, 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 dun. Ain't that old time rock and roll? I love it.
If
I
I
love
could
it.
get quality like Rebecca De Mornay, that'd be great.
Tell you.
She was hot in that.
Yeah.
She was really hot in that.
John Cash says, just supporting. Do The Shining, by the way. Oh, The Shining's coming. Don't
Shining's
worry.
coming in the fall, winterish,
Yep.
somewhere in November, we're thinking.
Frank Riker says, too bad there wasn't a Veda perk, her face on a jingle ball. Oh, that's my cat, Veda. Yeah, that's funny. That'd be funny. I never even thought of that. Because, you know, people like cute animals. Veda, I'm going to exploit you. That'd be so funny. Hey, listen, folks, we got to, I'll just answer this last one here. Nick, $2. Will Billy do his own commentary on the Blu-ray? I don't know. I'll have to see. We'll have to see about that. You never know. Maybe it'll either, I mean, at the very least, it will be a director's commentary with me and Bruce. But maybe we can set up a commentary where it's myself and Bruce in the cast as well. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when it comes. But yeah, certainly, I wasn't prepared here for our extra. There we go. Extra coming now. All right. Oh, Charles Crane goes hard into the paint with $20. Unbelievable, Charles. You are amazing. Folks, that's going to do it for episode 77 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thank you to my moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Jason Nike, Darren Sands, for keeping the flow going. Thank you to all the super chats. Really appreciate it, guys. Amazing stuff. And thank you to all the non-super chat questions, of course. Tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bruce Dale, my buddy Bruce, co-director, writer, and producer of It's Me, Billy, will be on the show tomorrow morning. Tune into that. Tony, my main man, any last things you want to say?
We'll see you next week. I know.
Yeah, that's right. We're just going to say, I know.
I know.
We'll see you next week.
I know. We'll see you next week.
That's right. There's a little clue to the movie we'll be watching next week. All righty. That'll do it for us.
Later.
Cheers.